Hello, hello. How's everyone doing this fine middle of the day? I'm just going to say really quick, in case you are watching this video after the live stream has happened, this is going to be one of the first live streams I do where it's going to be available to watch after. So normally I don't do that because I don't like, filling up the sub box and stuff like that with just like random stuff. But because I'm doing a tier list of all the zones and stuff I've gone through, and there's going to be some important discussion that I might refer back to in a future video. I figure I may as well leave it public for everybody. So yeah, please let me know if you guys can hear me all right. I have a fan going on in the background because it's pretty hot in my room, and let me know if that's too loud for you guys. That should be good. And also let me know if the background music is too loud or too quiet. It's just some like lo-fi stuff, so all good. All right, hello Sergius. Hello Dreamer. Welcome everyone. All right. So yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on this. Obviously, if you guys are chatting, you'd like to talk with me, I'm more than happy to respond to any comments, but I like to make an efficient use of my live streams. I like to make sure, we're not lollygagging the entire time. If you are here and you're interested in playing Elder Scrolls Online later, I am going to do that after I do the tier list. I think ESO Plus is free for everybody, so there's some dungeons I might do, but I don't know if it's going to be like lore breaking or not. Like, there's usually in every zone, there's a base game dungeon and then a DLC dungeon. Bit loud, the music. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Turn that down just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know. Some people told me that like the Greenshade one, I think it's like a Hercene dungeon or something, and that sounds really cool, but I think it takes place after some point in the story, so hopefully it's not, it doesn't ruin something in the storyline. Who knows? Okay, so let's get started, and you guys can let me know what you're thinking while we're going through this live stream. I mean, technically, I said we'd start at 11, so I want to wait like, one more minute for everyone to trickle in if they do want to come in. But here are my rankings. These are just what I kind of, after the end of all my videos, these are my scores that I originally did. So these are all available, except for Knarthi's Roost. I don't think the tutorial zones warrant a story. I mean, I don't think the tutorial zones warrant an entire video because they're pretty short. But that's just my opinion. But I did give Knarthi's Roost some scores. Obviously, it's Tutorial Island. There's what, one POI, 1, 2, 3. I think there's 3 POIs you do outside of the story. There's really, maybe down here too, maybe 4. Anyway. I have all the things up here. It says there's 9. Okay, well that includes story ones. Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, so I do have everything up here. I've got all the maps. I've got all the, proof that I did 100% it. I've got the zone guides we're gonna go through, and we're gonna rank stuff. I don't really know why I put Coldharbour in here. I probably could remove that one because I'm technically not done Coldharbour yet. Although, spoiler alert, I think Coldharbour's probably my favorite zone I've done so far. It's what I expected. When I think of like an MMO with a great, like an MMO style zone, like if we started in Coldharbour and you got that main campaign, and I don't know, I think Coldharbour honestly may have been like, I think they may have, if I was designing the game, I would have started with Coldharbour, and then you branch off into your other stuff. But let's just get started with some of the basics here. So, I'll probably do Knarthi's Roost last, just because it's not really, it's just a tutorial zone, so it doesn't really count as much. But yeah, let's start with Auridon. So originally I said Auridon, I had the zone design of 4. It's a beautiful zone. It has a fantastic aesthetic. And the map of it is also phenomenal, especially the design of how you progress through the map, starting at the bottom, working your way up. It's just great. I think the design of Auridon, as far as the base game zones I've ever done, probably deserves 4 or 5 out of 10. Originally, I gave it 4. I could honestly say, compared to some of the other zones, at least for Aldmeri Dominion, which is what I'd be judging them against, is the other Aldmeri Dominion zones, I would probably bump the zone design up to a 5, just because it's so beautiful. It's got a couple different types of environments. It's a coastal. It's like an island, which also adds an interesting aesthetic. There's lots of stuff to do. The points of interest are also pretty well designed throughout the story. You can't really miss them. Whereas if you look at like something like Grahtwood, it's kind of circular. Like everything revolves around the capital city, so you might miss points of interest while doing the main campaign. So, you know, debatable. Not as new player friendly. I think I'd give Auridon a 5 in regards to its zone design, bumping it up from 4. The main story, I was pretty critical about Auridon when I originally did. I said it was 2, and I don't think it deserves a 2, especially after playing through some of the other zones, like Malabal Tor, which I gave a 1, and it's like, there's no way the main story of Auridon was just a little bit better than Malabal Tor. It was much better. I thought it relied too heavily on the Veiled Inheritance. I thought it was just too centered around that faction, and although the faction is important, they kind of fizzle out once you hit to like Greenshade. They kind of stop popping up, but they are an important villain group to get a good perspective on. Tierlist says, originally I think the game did start with a brief Coldharbour section before you jump into your starter zone. Yeah, you're right. I remember doing a tutorial where Lyris rescues you from Coldharbour. I remember doing that in the video I'm making right now, and I think that was the old intro to the game, which I kind of wish... I know now they've got that huge, like, I don't know, like Alien Ruin, where there's like a bunch of portals and stuff, which is what I did this time around. But yeah, the Coldharbour starting prologue, I think, was pretty good, in my opinion, anyway. So yeah, so moving on, Auridon's side content, I did think was too heavily, like, Veiled Inheritance doing something bad, help this town, or liberate the town. Like, half of the points of interest for Auridon, which is this right here, there were 18. I would say, like, at least half were just, like, liberate city from bad guy. I think 3 is fair, but both of these, in my opinion, get bumped up by 1. So for me, compared to the rest of these, like, just in terms of, for Aldmeri Dominion, we're just judging these against other Aldmeri Dominion zones, I think I'm going to put Auridon in S tier, from what I've experienced so far, right? I'm sure the DLC content is better. I'm sure there's, like, you know, there's better stuff in the game. This is a 10-year-old content, but we're just looking at the Aldmeri Dominion stuff. And I think Auridon was a phenomenal starting zone, and if it was weaker, I may not be doing the series I'm doing today, basically. I think it was a pretty good introduction, and I don't really have many complaints about the zone in retrospect, looking back on it. I think it did a pretty good job. Tiger says, after you escape, you fall into a sea. You're next to your first zone. Oh. Okay. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we'll move on here. Okay, so let's take a look at Grahtwood. Grahtwood was a big fan favorite of mine, mainly because Grahtwood is the first kind of tease I've ever had of Valenwood and technically Auridon's Somerset Isles. But Grahtwood, I would honestly say, as far as the zone goes, it's like Malabal Tor, but they both do each of the respective 3 things better than the other, if that doesn't make any sense. Grahtwood and Malabal Tor are basically the same environment. They're basically the same. Grahtwood, in my opinion, is worse than Malabal Tor. Malabal Tor has a better jungle aesthetic than Grahtwood. However, Grahtwood's main story was definitely better, and its side content was pretty close. Like, yeah, I think Grahtwood was honestly a really good secondary zone. I didn't like how it dropped the queen right away. Like, as a new player, I wasn't a fan of... what's it called? As a new player, I wasn't a fan of being introduced to this Veiled Heritance. Like this full zone was... Auridon was all about the Veiled Heritance, and then they kind of just aren't really... They do pop up later, like in Greenshade they pop up a bit, especially on the coast here on Seaside Sanctuary. But in Grahtwood, they just kind of play like a little bit of a role, like, it's more about Prince Naaman. Anyway, if I was to rank Grahtwood, I think I'm kind of happy with what this is. The side content I remember was really good. Some of the most memorable stuff I did was in Grahtwood, but I think I would give Grahtwood like a solid... I would probably give it an A. It's good, but it also introduced my least favorite, the Staff of Magnus story arc, which just gets dropped. Like, I have so many gripes with that story arc, but overall, it's interesting. It doesn't revolve around the characters we establish in Auridon as important enough, in my opinion. It kind of introduces new characters that we don't really care about, and then we also never see them again, or they die. So in terms of like continuity or permanence, I don't think Grahtwood's main story is as impactful as some of the other zones. Basically, the end of Grahtwood, all we know is the Queen Irene has a pure heart, and she's fit to lead the Dominion. That's what we learn at the end of Grahtwood. And that doesn't need to be an entire campaign. I would even maybe say that its main story is a little bit worse than 3. I would maybe give it 2.5. We'll keep it as it is. Does anyone in the chat have any comments about these listings so far? You guys, and again, we're just comparing to the Dominion as a whole. No DLC zones or anything yet, but like, does anyone have you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I missed anything? Auridon overall is pretty good, is a pretty good introduction after Carnathi's Roost. Top Chop says. Yeah, I agree. I think Auridon, if it didn't, I think at the time I made my Auridon video, I thought it was a bit weaker than it was, but in retrospect, looking back, I think it's a very strong starting zone, and it kept me engaged into the game, which is important, I think. Like, I wanted to keep playing after Auridon. Some of these other zones I did not want to keep playing after. Dreamer says, I think that Covenant and Pact have a better story overall, but Auridon is my favorite starting zone of the 3. Interesting. Yeah, I think I did finish the Coldharbour main story, and I started Cadwell Silver, and it put me on Bleak Rock Isle, which I think is the Ebonheart Pact storyline, so that'll be interesting. That'll probably be the next one I do, because I want to get the Cadwell Gold and stuff. I'd agree Grahtwood isn't the strongest zone, but it does have one of the most convenient... Oh, that's true. So actually, I don't know if this is a hot take. Velen Harbor, this city over here, is my go-to city. This is the city that I do all my crafting in. This little building right here has all the crafting in it. Right there. Has everything you need. Is my mouse even showing up on stream? I hope so. Yeah, I think so. This building here, let me get a little pen out. There we go. I can draw. That has everything you need. It has blacksmithing, it has woodworking, it has leatherworking, and then right here in the corner of the Mages Guild has jewelry crafting. So the Way Shrine is right here. You just go do your crafting, do this, and then the bank is right here. So it's just in here, do your crafting or deconstructing, then do jewelry, then go to the bank. This is my favorite hub so far, personally. But I don't know if maybe that's an undiscovered thing. But I understand Grahtwood, the capital, is pretty great. The problem for me is my computer's not that good, so it takes a long time to load into Eldenroot. And therefore, if I'm doing crafting or deconstructing, it's not worth it, because the longer load time doesn't compensate for the convenience that Velen Harbor provides for me. I've only recently changed my playstyle, so I can't give any rating for zones. Just happy to watch, to be honest. Thank you, DDH. Appreciate that. Dreamer says, to be honest, I treated Grahtwood and Malabal Tor as one zone whenever you're playing it. Those zones just blend together. I agree. Tried Skingrad? I assume that's a DLC area. I mean, that's obviously an Oblivion city, so that's not in the base game. So, no, I have not done any DLC stuff yet. I'm just doing the base game, Aldmeri Dominion. So I just 100% completed all the Aldmeri Dominion zones. Literally 100% completed the zone guide for all of them. So now, out of these 6, we're just doing a quick kind of tier list on what I thought about all of these now that I've spent 100 and something hours doing this entire faction storyline and all the fish and all the achievements and all the lore books and all that stuff. So it's a long time coming, this culmination of stuff here. The Undaunted Enclave. Yeah, that's true. I did do some veteran dungeons. I did, did some stuff, and you turn it in here somewhere? No, where is it? Here, I think. Like right here, I think is the Undaunted Enclave. And you whatever, you put in keys for loot or whatever, right? Will you be doing every zone on the same character? That's a good question, Matt Huey. I'm thinking so. Because, like, the only reason... So there's 2 reasons. One reason I really want is I want the Master Angler thing, right? Like, I really want the Master Angler achievement because I spend so much time fishing. Kind of seems stupid to give up, like, all this effort to get the Master Angler. Why can't I draw on this thing here? Here we go. Like, all these fish, I've spent probably, like, almost 30 hours catching all these fish. And that's a big time waster if I don't, just play on the same character. But I wouldn't mind... Achievements are account-wide. Oh, really? So I wouldn't have to get all the fish on all the characters? Because that's, like, the big thing for me. I wouldn't mind trying a new class. I honestly would not... mind like trying a new class. People tell me the Arcanist is like super broken and stuff. I wouldn't mind trying like a worse quote-unquote class, but most of them are yes. How do you handle all that time fishing? What do you do on the side? I do fishing. All the fishing I do, I tend to do while I'm working. So I was a student. I just graduated, but I was working like part-time at some place I won't say because I don't want my bosses to find that out. But yeah, I do. I just, when I'm in a meeting and something and I'm just like listening for like hours a day, I will pop into ESO and do some fishing. That's when I get it done. Or pop up in a Netflix show. I honestly don't mind doing the fishing because it's a nice side activity. It's almost like an idle game, really. So I don't mind it at all, actually. A lot of people complain about the fishing. I don't mind it. I don't mind it, really. But let me... Sorcerers have an alt overcharged, I believe, or use your hands to cast lightning spell. Yeah, I saw the Palpatine lightning, right? That's how I play VRs, with double lightning in both hands. But yeah, that I do really enjoy. I like casting stuff out of my hands, which ESO doesn't really do. But maybe that's just because I've only played the Arcanist, so I shouldn't really say that at all because I have no idea. Palpatine lightning, yeah, I love Palpatine lightning. Feels awesome. All right, let's move on to the third zone of the tier list here. So we talked about Grahtwood. I think I'm happy where it is. It has a good player hub. I agree. That's something I wouldn't really have considered. Haven, I was disappointed with because they just left the story. Like pirates and necromancy, you land here. It's so cool. It gives you this narrative direction, and they just abandon it. South Point is the, what's it called? The Sheogorath storyline. Very good. Fallen Esty, obviously, I love Fallen Esty. I think it's so cool. It's one of my favorite things to read about in Elder Scrolls lore. And the other one, I don't really remember. It's a Medusa lady. It's either Leolora or Reliquary of the Stars. One of those, I think. And whatever. Elden Root, I think I'm happy with it in A. I could hear an argument for it in B tier, potentially, but I do think for Aldmeri Dominion zones, there are worse things than Grahtwood, and I think Grahtwood deserves the A. I don't have a D or F tier because I don't think anything belongs down there. But let's jump into Greenshade here. So Greenshade, again, these are just my ratings from the videos, so I ripped them from the videos. Greenshade, zone design 3. It's to me, Greenshade's a pretty kind of boring, I guess. It kind of combines, there is jungle and like in canyons and stuff, but it combines the best of like Grahtwood and Malabal Tor with like the worst of something like just a green plains biome. Not to mention, huge swaths of this zone are completely unplayable. This mountain, you can't do anything in there. This whole, oops, I turned on, oops. This whole area, okay, that was a bad circle. This area down here, you can't do anything about anything in there. This huge chunk is unplayable. And then like basically all of this over here is unplayable as well. So when you look at it, it's basically you're just following the roads. There's way less open world stuff you can do in Greenshade, in my opinion. I think the zone design is not as good as Malabal Tor, and I would actually probably not give it a 3. I would probably give this a 2. I really did not like Greenshade. 2.5 maybe. Main story for Greenshade, obviously amazing. It's the longest one. I think it took like 7 or 8 hours to do. You've got the Wilder King, all that stuff that happens. Let me remove these for now. I made a bunch of dots by accident, so I gotta Control Z a billion times here. Oh my god, what happened? There we go. Wilder King is down here in this corner. That's a great storyline, but they just drop it. They abandon it. And then you've got your quest with the Wood Elf, Indinir, right? Before he becomes the Silvernar. Prince Naaman stuff, the Necromancer. It's cool, but it's long and it's complex, which I enjoy. And I think that's really a strong point of Greenshade that the other stories didn't have. All the other zones that came before this, the story's one-dimensional. You know who the bad guy is. You know what you're trying to do. You just kind of do pit stops along the way. Greenshade kind of has 3 story arcs going on at all times. It feels much more like Game of Thrones, you know, where they zip between, you know, Khaleesi in the desert, and you got Jon Snow in the north. You've got all these different story arcs going on at the same time. And I thought that was interesting. I think their story design, although they kind of abandoned plot points, which I don't like when they do that, I think they did. Greenshade was much more complex, and I think it was written with a little bit more creative power than some of the other zones. That being said, the side content, this zone here, Rootwater, let me zoom in a little bit. Rootwater Grove, that's a Hermaeus Mora. I love Hermaeus Mora, it's my favorite Daedric Prince, so obviously I'm a little biased. Rootwater Grove is the place. I like that one. This one's also pretty good too. It's about a vampire that... there's a clan of vampires, but 1 or 2 of them are going into the town and killing civilians. You have to decide if you're going to kill all the vampires or let them relocate it, maybe, and let them relocate it, and maybe they happen to do it again, which isn't great. I can't really think of anything else that, for point of interest, that were that interesting. The dungeon, City of Ash, by far the best dungeon I've done in the Aldmeri Dominion, still to this day. City of Ash was awesome. Both versions. City of Ash 2, more specifically. It had good tie-ins with the zone in terms of lore. It had a great stuff about the Bosmer. It was Maroon's Dagon, I think, was the Daedric Prince, like the antagonist for that one. And then it was great. I thought that was a fantastic dungeon. I can't really think, unfortunately, of many other side, much side content here that was interesting or shouts out to me. I did give the side content a 2, so that does sound about right. So I'm going to put Greenshade here in probably B. The story was the best part about this zone, in my opinion. So now, if you guys have any opinions before I move on, let me know. If you think it deserves higher, let me. I'm open to interpretation here, but this is so far kind of. Auridon's kind of the only one in retrospect I went back to and was like, okay, yeah, it probably should be higher because it was the first one I did, and I think I judged it a little too harshly. Other than that, I don't think Greenshade was that interesting. It had Fallen Essie spring sites. And the spring site, I think you were just closing portals, if I remember correctly. It wasn't too much about Fallen Essie as a whole. We'll see. Okay. And here is the Greenshade 100% right there. There's the screenshot. If I remember correctly, Greenshade did have a reputation for a place you never really went back to after completing it. It's a bit better these days, but relatively quiet. Yep, that's a great point, Tyrus. I said the same thing in my video. It was dead. I'm having the same issue with Coldharbour. I can't get people to help me with world bosses. There are some world bosses I can't do, like they're not designed to be done by like one person, at least not somebody who's running garbage gear. And so I need help. And there's nobody in Coldharbour or Greenshade. I had to stream, and what I think we'll be doing today as well is stream and have people kind of run or help me do some of the bosses. But yeah, Greenshade for me, it was pretty dead. And I think when I was streaming, we had probably had like 30% of the entire zone was like running around with me at the same time. Lastly, not lastly, I don't even think we need to talk about this that much, but Malabal Tor goes in the C tier for me. I don't even really think we need to touch on it. It's not a hot take. Most people dislike Malabal Tor quite a lot. The biggest thing I go back from Malabal Tor is the Vale and Harbor. I love this little town here because it's so convenient. But it's just not... the jungle I liked. It has quite a bit, again, of unplayable areas. You've got like a lot of mountain peaks here where you just can't go, but it's way more open. If you want to like walk in a huge diagonal, like right here, you could do that. You can walk all the way down here. You can do that. You can walk, here. You can kind of get anywhere you want. And especially since it's on the coast, you can also kind of just go along the coast and kind of discover yourself that way as well. But the story, I don't know what was going on. I would like to meet with, like, I'm going on the Nephes's. I don't know if you guys know who Nephis is. Let's see if I can pull up something here. Nephis. Here we go.
Hello.
This guy. I actually like watching some of his stuff, but grab a screenshot and just open it up here. This is I'm going on this podcast here in a couple days, and we're gonna talk about some things I think about the Elder Scrolls Online as a whole. So that'll be interesting. I'm excited to talk with those guys because those guys are like endgame players, and I'm the exact opposite. So I have a big sheet of questions I want to ask him and all that stuff. But I will be... I don't know if he's going to stream it or if it's going to be a video out after or whatever. But that's going to be interesting. I'm going to be on that sometime this week. EDC says, it's a decent zone, but traversing it isn't that easy. There's a lot of canyons and high walls and rocks. The whole Silvernar Green Lady plot in Malabal Tor does follow up a bit in Canarthy's Roost. Yes, I agree. Canarthy's Roost kind of sows the seeds for some very interesting stuff, and I will talk about Canarthy's Roost when we get there. I feel like the Dominion had the least memorable characters. You know what is crazy? Is so a lot of people talk about Razumdar, right? And I know I joke about him a lot, but he's really not in the story a lot. So he's obviously a pretty important character in Canarthy's Roost. Then you see him again in Auridon. You don't see him in Grahtwood at all. He's just not here. Let me get that centered. There we go. He's not in Grahtwood. He's in Greenshade a little. He's in Greenshade for like the first 5 minutes of the zone story, and then he shows up again. Where he shows up in Woodhearth again to put on a disguise. So he's in here a little bit. He's not in Malabal Tor at all. I don't even think he attends the wedding of the Silvernar, which is kind of weird. I was keeping an eye out for him. And then Reaper's March, he's in this point of interest here. and then he shows up at the end for the final ceremony. He's honestly not, as far as a recurring character goes, you'd expect him to show up a little bit more. People always talk, I assume he shows up a lot in the DLC, because people always tell me, oh, Razumdar, you know, he's gonna be your favorite guy. He's not, like, the queen shows up more than Razumdar, which obviously I guess she's a little more important, but I don't know. I would have expected him to turn up a little bit more. All right, let me talk about Reaper's March here. Reaper's March, I think I would throw it in A. I think it's really good. The story, I'm a big Khajiit. I think the Joan and Jode, I think all that stuff is super interesting. I gave the zone design a 3. I don't like desert, or like sand, or like barren stuff. Obviously, that's what this zone is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be a barren, like wasteland almost, like a savanna. And you can see little patches of green here and here, but the rest is one biome. Like you're never walking and you find, oh, there's a nice little oases right here, or oh, there's like a forest. It's basically the same biome everywhere, and that I don't like sand. You know, not to quote Anakin Skywalker, but I don't like sand. Okay, it's not my favorite biome type, but it made up for the story. I thought the story was awesome. Probably one of the best ones we've done so far. Greenshade was really good, but it was a little convoluted and too complex, and the pieces didn't connect that well. Reaper's March did a much better job. I think this was probably the best Aldmeri Dominion Zone story. Side content for Reaper's March, also pretty good. There's a lot to do. The delves were unique. I can't think of many points of interest that were bad, which I say in the video. Like, I can't think of any points of interest for Reaper's March that stood out to me as bad. Most of them were mediocre or very good. They just had a lot of... it was just above the belt everywhere, really. I don't know if I'd give it S because... you could make an argument for S, honestly. Yeah, it's coarse and rough and gets everywhere. Exactly. I remember you saying that it's hard to make a good-looking desert savanna. Meanwhile, northern elsewhere has some of the most stunning places while being even a harsher climate. Okay, so that's good to know that they do have, or they did improve upon the desert in DLC zones. And I assume it's the same. It's like the savanna desert biome, so it's the same biome, but yeah, a little more, variance, or maybe even like a cactus forest would have been cool to see. Something that, you know what I mean? It's the environment brought this one down a lot for me, and this is the reason I can't give it S, because it was like the first zone I felt where I was like, there's nothing, like everywhere you go feels the same, and it sucked a little bit of the enjoyment out, but I think it does deserve A. And on that note, let's do Khenarthi's Roost. I did a whole lore video on Khenarthi's Roost, and for me, Khenarthi's Roost, honestly, you have to remember it's a tutorial zone, right? So there's not much to do. I would probably give it a B. Like I would rather play Khenarthi's Roost again than Malabal Tor. Khenarthi's Roost had a lot to do with the Maumr, the Sea Elves. Here's my 100% completion here. And the Sea Elves, I think, are really interesting because they're technically not part of Tamriel. They're on a different continent. And they had a lot of stuff to do with the Sea Elves, which I loved. They had the Silvernar and the Green Lady stuff. That was really interesting too. The Silvernar dies, and the Green Lady, she talks about in Malabal Tor, she like swam across the entire ocean. I think her POI is up here. Treehenge, I believe, is where you talk to the old Green Lady's spirit. And in Treehenge, she talks about how after she chased down the Maumr who killed her husband in Minstrel, and she chased them all the way across the ocean. She swam all the way across the ocean to the Pyndinian kingdom, so another continent, and then she just massacred hundreds of them, and then finally, in her final breath, she tackled the king off of a ledge and killed him, and she died. That's how she died. That is wild. That's a crazy story. I know they're the Green Lady and the Silvernar are super powered kind of, but that was really cool to kind of hear and to kind of confirm that Pyandinia does exist as a continent in outside of our explorable areas. That was really cool. as well. Ralka, is that how you say it? Ralka has the best town hub. That's this place here. Yeah, I found it was super busy. Again, my computer's not that great, so loading into those kind of places sometimes isn't worth it. But I think the crafting is kind of in the middle, or it's a little scattered in some places. I think this is the Mages Guild here, maybe. I don't know. But you have to go there for a quest for something. I can't really remember. That may have been actually you had to go there for the Mages Guild and Fighters Guild quest, which I have now finally completed. So that was interesting as well. Slave 420 says, yeah, they had some really amazing ideas there. It was stunning seeing it for the first time, and some of the most intriguing lore behind the terrain itself. Which zone are we talking about here? I'm sorry, I've been zipping around all over the place, Slay. Let me know which zone you're talking about. But I agree, the Khajiit architecture is probably, I mean, Altmer architecture that you see in like Auridon is similar to Iliad, and you kind of see that in most of the single player games already. So the architecture in like this zone wasn't interesting to, I mean, yeah, you kind of see it everywhere. Grahtwood, as a Skyrim player, obviously, I don't think you see any Bosmer architecture in all of Skyrim. That was cool to see. Like Elden Root was that's a huge ash tree, a city inside a tree, very cool. Like design wise, very, very interesting architecturally. Greenshade was kind of a mix of all of them. Woodhearth, you have, let's see if I can find it. So there's Imperial kind of outposts around the entire thing of Woodhearth here. You have Bosmer. This stuff is all Bosmer. This stuff is Altmer. And then there's like Khajiit right down here. You can't really see it because it's under the Sky Shard, but this area is Khajiit architecture. Woodhearth had a really good kind of mix and mash of all the architectures, and that was really awesome. Not to mention, I think Marbrook is mainly Altmer. Seaside Sanctuary is mainly Altmer. Like, most of the areas are Altmer, but, you know, that's a little bit... not a huge fan of the Altmer thing anyway. Keep in mind, you're looking at the old launch version of the architecture as well. True. I've heard that they literally just add more, what's it called? They add more, like, the textures are better now. Like, when they release a new zone, like the new Gold Road one, there's a Bosmer area, and they just have better textures, like, straight up better textures. Would you create a POI tier list? The most iconic quests that are worth replaying. That would be interesting. I've been thinking about doing a guide once I've done more of the zones. It may be a written guide. I don't know if I'd make a video about it, but something. I think there's like some points of interest, in my opinion, that are super integral. And I wish ESO, it's 10 years old. I wish there was an add-on where it's like a quest overlay add-on made by the community. And when you like, say you enter Auridon, for example, right? So say you enter Auridon, you do your Vocal Guard quest line here and discover what the Veiled Inheritance is. But as soon as you're done and you're like on this path here, it told you, okay, you should do Silsalen, you should do that. And then you should go down to the South Beacon, do that before you do the next main quest line. I wish there was an add-on that did that. If there is, or like there's a team people doing, I'd be happy to give my input. But I think there should be a written guide, or at least in-game, that kind of directs you to like, this is how the game is meant to be played. Because especially when you get to Malabal Tor, you really need to be doing the points of interest. Like, you really need to be working these in, otherwise you're going to lose a lot on the main story. I don't know if there is something like that. If there is that, please let me know, because that would be awesome. Skingrad is fire. I'm looking forward to it. Oblivion was my first Elder Scrolls game. I'm looking forward to checking out Skingrad, but I actually haven't bought that, so I be interested to see, because my channel actually started, if you look at my really old videos, were comparison videos between the cities of Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls Online. That's how actually I started. But it would be cool to do one of those for Oblivion, but I'm sure I'm going to be way too late on that. There's going to be lots of people who have already done it. Each expansion gives better textures, new designs, and new environments. They can be really beautiful. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm just about done Coldharbour. Like, we're gonna be playing some of it today. Like pretty soon, like in probably like 10 minutes, we'll be hopping into Elder Scrolls. Coldharbour, not in terms of textures, but you can kind of tell, in my opinion anyway, that like when I loaded in, so I actually started accidentally with Necrom, because I have Sharp as Night as my what's it called, companion. So Sharp as Night, you have to be in the Necrom area. So technically, that's actually the first zone I started in, although I didn't really do anything in there except pick them up because I really wanted a companion that was good for fishing. But the textures there looked really good. I was flipping on and off my reshade, and I didn't find like I needed it as much. Whereas, like, in my opinion, you really need the reshade. In these zones, you need the reshade. Like, it's a huge. I can't play without the reshade in these guys here. Coldharbour, it's debatable. Coldharbour's like purpley, and the reshade kind of turns it a little blue. So sometimes I was turning it off. And Coldharbour's really dark, so it's really, the reshade also makes the contrast a little worse. So I was actually turning it on and off in Coldharbour, but yeah. Have you been finding Malik around? Oh, the liar? No, I have not found. Him yet. It might also be fun to compare this list to that of other alliances once you're done. That's the idea. So once I'm done, I'll do a quick little live stream. I don't know how long we've been streaming for, probably like 30 minutes or something, but just a quick go through all the zones here, take a look, say things I thought were great, things I thought, these were my original ratings from the videos, and these are all my 100%, my proof of completion there. You can see 100% on everything. But yeah, when I'm done, I wouldn't mind going through them and just checking stuff out. You said you were interested in doing 2 DLC zones after Coldharbour. Have you decided on which ones? So my members have voted. All right, let me see if I can grab a screenshot real quick. I could show you, because members are the only ones who can technically see it. So you guys wouldn't be able to see that anyway. Okay. Oh my God, Orsinium's at 75%. Here we go. Here's the screenshot. Grab that. Pull that over here. Don't save. No. Boom, boom. So that's where our votes are right now. So it'll be Orsinium, and then depending on how I feel, maybe Vardenfell. And if I just saw somebody ask if I'm doing them in order. So, ESO Zone Guide Order. There's an article here, a step-by-step guide. And they say specifically in this guide that basically you can do any of these here in any order. You're allowed to do any of these in any order. Craglorn, Imperial City, Orsinium, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood. You can do these in any order you want, but Shadows of the Hist, which is the Murkmire one, does involve a little bit of the Dark Brotherhood. So that's what I'm going off of. I assume this is correct. This is officially posted on their like website. So I'm going to assume this is somewhat accurate anyway. We'll see how that pans out, but that's the logic I'm going on. Yeah, it's you're right. It's 16. It's just members, so it's just 75% of 16 would be like 4, right? Yeah. So 4 people voted for Orsinium, and the rest were kind of no. Sorry, 12 people voted for Orsinium, and the rest were divided up between these two. Quick maths. Anyway, Vardenfell was exactly after Orsinium. Okay. I think for sure you need to do DLC in order also, or no. Yeah, so Craglorn's another one. Craglorn, I understand, has all the trials, and more specifically, Craglorn has the easy trials. Like the ones, if I was going to try a trial, Craglorn's probably where I'd want to go. So I wouldn't. Is Craigorn DLC? I thought it was just base game. You guys can let me know. Like I did not think Craigorn was a DLC. I thought it was just like the end game zone. I thought these two were just included in the base game. I did not know they were DLC. Do I have to download them or register for them or something like that? Happy is the Elder Scrolls story guy himself. It's me. Hello. Vardenfell is the beginning of the saga of DLC and continues on to elsewhere. Yes, I've read that it goes like Vardenfell to Clockwork City, then to Somerset, I think, right? Like that's how it goes. And then usually they follow 3 things. So then after Somerset, it would have been like, I don't know, elsewhere. Is that what it was? And then there's usually 3 things. I have to keep an eye out. If I am going to do that, I promise I do my research before I jump into a zone here. Craigorn is base game, and then someone 2 messages down said Craigorn wasn't base game, but I guess it's just free content. Okay, so we'll just say it's kind of base game, kind of not base game. It's a little bit of both. Craigorn was awful to quest through. I was lost the entire time. Oh, well, that scares me a bit, but we'll see. I understand Craigorn is supposed to be harder. It's supposed to be kind of like an endgame zone. I'm getting to a point in Coldharbour where I can't do some of the world bosses. Like, they're literally just, some of them aren't designed for one person. So, I'm assuming Craigorn and most of these DLC zones are probably like that, where the DLC boss or world bosses are going to be pretty tough. Oh, somebody said the only reason to play is one character. So yeah, I was thinking about maybe making a new character. So does ESO have class change tokens? Does anyone know that? Because I would be down to try a new class. You know, I've logged 130 hours on Arcanist so far. I would be down to try something new. I was worried, my initial worriment was that all the angler stuff, I would lose all that, but people said that it's account-wide, so it doesn't really matter. I can just do angler on any character. But I wouldn't mind trying a new class. But I don't really want to grind up all my stuff again, but who knows. Plus, my Argonian is kind of like, you know, my Argonian character is a little... I don't want to say iconic, but there's like people on my last video who are like, I didn't even recognize I didn't put an Argonian, my guy, in the thumbnail for my most recent video, and people didn't even know it was like, they didn't click on it because they didn't think it was me. And I got like 4 comments of people being like, your Argonian's so like iconic, I didn't even know who I was watching. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll just stick with my lizard boy. We'll see how it goes. Class tokens don't exist, but achievements are account-wide. Okay. You can try and recreate your Argonian. Yeah, I guess I could. I don't know. But I need a class change token if I would do that for... I already got 1 class change token, but I would need another one if I did an Argonian. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be doing Coldharbour, and Mage's Guild and whatever. I don't know. I'll think about it. Coldharbour's not in C tier. I was just throwing it down here. If I was to rate Coldharbour as of now, not quite done it yet, I wish this was the start of the game. Coldharbour should be, I think, the first... I know the story, obviously it's way too late, but if they design Coldharbour, like, they have, like, kind of cutscenes, and then they have, like, you know, the Molag Bal picks you up and throws you around. Coldharbour should have been the intro to the game, because this was captivating. The story was super interesting. The zone... Now, I'm a big lore guy, right? Coldharbour, technically, in the Elder Scrolls lore, is described as muddy and like it's like wet, and there's like mud everywhere, and the skies are like like they definitely took a different approach to designing Coldharbour. I'm going to talk about that more in my video when I finally release it, but Coldharbour is definitely different than what I thought it would look like, but I kind of like it. I do like this version of Coldharbour. Feels much more Molag Bal-y. Molag Bal-y. Anyway, I think I would put that here. Let me just boot up Elder Scrolls Online really quick here, and I'm going to jump into Coldharbour. We'll see how it goes. Did you know Coldharbour was the OG starting zone, OG tutorial area? Yes, somebody did. I did play back on like PlayStation, like way back in the day. I was playing. Oops, let me turn this down a little bit. Bethesda login noise is super loud. Back when I used to play, like way back in the day. Oops. I remember doing it on PlayStation. Did they change it? Yeah, they did. They changed it to like this like alien ruin that has a bunch of portals and stuff. And then you kind of just pick the portal you want to play in. But Coldharbour used to be like Lyris and stuff rescuing you from the cells and stuff. That used to be the main game. You got a lot of scrolls left. Any of you? Yeah, so I was here before 1 Tamriel. That's when I used to play. Back in the day, way back. In the way back machine. All right, let me open up. Let me close down this tier list thing. All right, we got a good. I think a good overall thing here. All right, Malabal Tor. If there was, I don't even think I'd put it in D tier. If there was a D tier, it's just a little lackluster, you know. But I'm happy with this list here. I think it's good. I'm gonna close down this fucking paint program. It's gonna ask me to save a billion things. Let me open up Elder Scrolls Online here.
Finish your preparations. We head out momentarily.
Okay, all right. Now let me close down paint so I don't get that soaking up my RAM on my horrible computer. Don't save. There we go. All right. Oh, okay. We're hopping in the game here. Started playing in 2019. Wow. I mean, you know, but 2019, I think that's like COVID, right? No, COVID was 2020. So that's, I assume that's when a lot of people did start, was 2020. Hey Frostbreak, just wanted to swing by and say thanks for your 100% playthrough videos. As someone who's always dropped in and out of ESO, they give me a goal to finally stick with the game for longer. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, One Potion Gaming. I wonder, I'm always thinking maybe I should make like an official guide, kind of, like a written guide and just call it, you know, like Frostbreak's Challenge or something like that, just so people can have access to it. But if people want, if you guys want to check out my gear, also I'm looking for what's the dungeon in here called? It's like over here, I think. I don't know, Vault of Madness or something, maybe. What's the Coldharbour dungeon called? Vaults of Madness. Yeah, if anyone wants to do Vaults of Madness and you're on PC, NA, just type your username in the chat here, and like the @ thing, I'll just add you to the group, and then when we're ready, we'll head out. No rush on that, but I would like to do the dungeon, and ideally read the story, so that's why I like playing with you guys, because you guys will let me go slow and listen to what's going on. Pre-1 Tamriel was nice from a perspective of a theme park MMO, but after 1 Tamriel, it kind of made all the zones viable, and there's always people running about. Yeah, I mean, they did it because, I would assume, of Morrowind, right? They wanted to make sure people who just bought the game, like, you know, that they'd be able to do it. Sadly, I'm on EU server. I shall just wish you luck. Thank you, Tierlist. Oh, okay, we got somebody already. Oh god, I hate doing this. Okay, can I copy from here? Yeah. Boom. Could not find, maybe you're just not logged in yet. But didn't work. What if I remove the @ does that work? No. Invite player @ HAPYY. Uh-oh. Doesn't work. If you look at the top menu, you can select the difficulty settings. I see. Milk toast. Okay, that one went through. Milk toast went through. Cuba song, can you try again? Sure, I will try again. Song 1. Boom. Okay, that one worked. It said the person is busy. Sorry, it didn't work. Kuba song. It said you're busy. No repairs, no crafting. Wear what you find. 1 POI gives me 1 skill, 1 attribute, 1 lore book, 1 extra. Oh wow, that's wait, you dude. That's a kind of. That's kind of crazy. That's even more crazy than mine. No repairs is wild. So if your gear breaks, you're just toast. Oh. I'll try you one more time here, Happy. That's crazy. So I'll show you my gear. Not good. Let me show you what I really look like, all right? Okay, you know what? It's not as bad, I would say. Some of the other zones don't look as good, but this looks okay. I'm running this. Basically all stamina recovery. Weapon and spell damage, not bad. Offensive penetration, not bad. When you leave sneaker invisibility, I'm never going to do that. I don't even know really how to do that, but we'll see. So it's Meridia's Blessing, or Meridia's Blessed Armor. And I have some of this, Prisoner's Rags. If I was to pick a set to get full of, it would be Prisoner's Rags, but there's really not that much around. Like, I got this, Lyris's Axe, for doing the campaign. But the rest of this isn't super... the rest of this is kind of crap. And then I've got the same bow on both things. Oh, no, I don't. I lied. I have Stiggin, which is the offensive penetration and stuff. Maddie Hugh, let me see if I can invite you. God, the group menu's here. Invite player. Thoreen says, wait, you picked Lyris at the end? Yeah, I guess a little bit of a spoiler. But yeah. So the reason I picked Lyris, okay, hear me out. Okay, hear me out while I picked Lyris, alright? I know she shows up in the Skyrim DLC. The only DLC I've ever done in this game, or sorry, the only DLC I've ever tried in this game is the Skyrim DLC. If you look on this channel, I did a comparison of Solitude, like I did a comparison of the Skyrim cities in ESO to them in the actual game of Skyrim. And I think she shows up, like I was just doing the main quest to like get to the city or something like that, and she just kind of pops up, and I was like, oh. And then when I was doing the main campaign, I remember her. So she's the only one I know who didn't die. Like, she's the only one I know who's probably, the decision didn't matter. Whereas if I picked a Prophet, I doubt they got Michael Gambon back for another DLC, but who knows. But I imagine his pay rate is quite high. Do we have 4 people? I thought I saw somebody leave. Let me try and invite Madahow again. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Every time I sent you a thing, Happy, it said you were blocked or whatever, or like you weren't ready, but it's all right. What gave you the idea to even start this challenge? I was bored. I kind of wanted to play ESO, and I said to myself, like, I would never, like, made it interesting for myself. Like, so that's why I did it. That's why I've got 100%, is I was like, you know what? I'm going to lock myself into this zone. I'm going to, you know, try really hard to stick into this area and really explore it and not overstimulate myself with a billion zones. Because that, I feel like, you know, that kind of happens when you're doing stuff around here, is there's too much stuff and you just get overwhelmed. Like, look at all these dimensions and stuff you can, places you can go to. Anyway, let me open up the group chat here. Oh god, I don't know how to options. Does this have group? I hope so. There we go, group. And let me say in the group, Cool. I feel like the Prophet is the canon pick. He kind of started it and wanted to set it right. That, and he was already spent by that point. Yeah, I got that opinion. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you. Okay, how do I pick Dungeon Finder? No. Specific dungeon. Vaults of Madness. Right? That's the right one, right? Vaults of Madness. Yeah. Alright. And just if you're in the group, I will go a little slow just because I want to read the story and stuff, if that's okay. If you guys don't mind not going crazy. Or if you want to listen to the story as well, please feel free. But yes, the Vault of Madness. So I know the Mad Architect is in here, and Meridia, at the end of the story, references the Mad Architect directly. And she says that the Mad Architect is responsible for building that big, you know, plane meld, the big portal in that Molag. Oh! Was I supposed to do that?
You doomed yourself by coming here. You know that, don't you?
Okay. That's kind of cool. Is there 2 ways or 1 way? There's a lore book. Where is it? Right here. That's the one I needed.
Tearing your soul out never fails to amuse me, Gasto. I'll return it to you.
Plus, he was a blind old man and literal cause for the plane meld. Yeah, you're probably right. You're definitely right. We just have to wait here, or... see if I can... Is there something I'm supposed to... Oh, there we go. So my build isn't super great, but I shouldn't have too much of a problem going through this. Alright, let me talk to this guy. Oh.
I need you to kill me.
Why can't I talk to him? Why is there a floating sword right there? What's that?
Please.
Oh.
Release me from this wretched body.
Oh! My bad. Was I supposed to do that?
I'm free.
I guess so.
Thank you. I'm dead.
Gaston Chamarond. So what is he, like Breton? French?
And you are trapped here with me. If you'll lend me your strength, I'll show you the way out of here.
I know, I killed him.
These are the vaults of
Vaults of
madness.
Mad Architect,
Constructed by the
yeah.
Mad Architect. It's an eternal prison for his enemies. For me, you could be the key.
Okay, so pretty straightforward. Let me just make sure I got the right quest selected here. Mind of Madness, there we go. That's a big guy. Let me know, please. If the combat's too loud, guys, let me know, because the combat in this game definitely can get a little... I did turn it down a lot, so if the combat's a little loud, please let me know if the sound effects are too crazy. I thought there was a harvester up here. She just left. Okay. Wait, who's the boss? The guy or this one down here? Maybe both of them. Sash of the Worm Cult. Magicka Recovery. I don't really need Magicka Recovery, but I do not have that, so that's a new piece to add to my collection there. Cool. Have you tried some mods to improve immersion? You could hide a chat or quest tracker. I do tend to play with chat disabled, but most of the add-ons I use, I assume that's what you mean by mods. Most of the add-ons I use just help me do stuff a bit better, like find lore books easier or sky shards and stuff. Oop. I'm getting sucked. I'm getting sucked! Oh my god, you guys killed. I literally was getting sucked the whole time. Hat of the Worm Cult, it's the same thing. Let me bind it. So, just so I'm clear on that, you should bind gear as soon as you get it, right? Because then you won't get it again, or you're less likely to get it again? Or... I don't know if that's true or not.
By the 8, having your soul reinserted is just as painful as having it ripped out. At least I'm whole again.
How do we get out of here?
But I can't.
The architect has imprisoned your friends. Okay.
First,
So we're just rescuing your friends.
Serene will need your help.
Alright, let's rescue this guy's friends. I would like to learn more about the Mad Architect, but he seems to just be a regular dude. It's an alright healing set. Bind gear so you won't get it again until your sticker book for the dungeon is full. Cool. I will do that. And I'm kind of interested in doing some of the DLC dungeons. I don't want to drag everyone away from this dungeon, but there's like this one here. March of Sacrifices. That's a ESO plus one. But if anyone in the chat wants to let me know, if that ruins the story for anything, I probably won't do it. Because like if it's like it takes place after Dark Brotherhood, or it's like a setup for something and it has characters in it that I don't know yet, I just won't do it. Or if it's going to be like super hard, if the mechanics are crazy. I've done veteran dungeons, but nothing quite like that. Invasuka, $5. Thank you very much. I love this series. I don't even play Elder Scrolls. Thank you for gracing my homepage. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. Donation's unnecessary, but really means a lot. Thank you very much. I'll tell you just by looking at the DPS your team had, you could do it with that group. Oh, I would do Lair of Marshalok while you can't continue. I did do Selene's Web. Okay, cool. Is that in... Is that... who said that? Kubasong. Is that in... what's it called? Is that in one of the zones I've been to? If it's outside of the zone I haven't gone to, I probably won't do it. Just because... Keep my rules. But if it's in one of the zones we've gone to already, why not? Sounds like fun. I wouldn't mind. That would be my first DLC dungeon I've ever tried. That would be interesting. I'm not super familiar with I assume those will have real mechanics. Like, you know, we're just kind of goofing around right now. I'm just beaming these things. I don't really think there's many mechanics I actually have to pay attention to.
Serene, I've brought help.
Oh, I can't bind it because there's enemies or something.
This is my chance. Release me.
This voice actor, bro!
Please.
This voice actor, it does like everything.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I would never be free. Gusto.
Have you tried making much gold yet? I'm a relatively newish player, something I've struggled with.
Are you well? Hardly.
Not really. I just kind of delete the gold as soon as I leave a zone, so it doesn't really matter for me.
What do Thales become? We've created a monster. All these souls he tortures for the Daedra. Don't ever. Duthale, the Mad Architect, did this, not us.
These guys created the Mad Architect? What the hell?
I won't forget. I'm fine.
Architect never knows.
He tells the truth. We both know the way, but we have a mutual friend I'd like to free before. Raynell Nerone. She was brought here by the architect, just like...
Okay, interesting.
Raynell was a kindly one. She entered these vaults with us, and I'd like her to leave with us.
Alright, cool, sounds good. Lair of Marshalok is related to the Elsewhere story. Don't do it until you've done that. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, DLC dungeons, I don't need to do them. Do I want your dungeon set gear at the end, Frostbite? No, it's if you don't have something, keep it. If you have something it's already like bound and you don't need it, I'll take it. Absolutely. That would be awesome. But if you need it, please keep it yourself. Don't give it to me. DLC dungeons, yeah, I thought they'd be cool, but I really don't want to spoil any of the story stuff if I don't have to, so all good. We don't have to do that. March of Sacrifice is a standalone thing and isn't tied to any other DLC. All right, so maybe we'll do March of Sacrifices. If everyone in the group right now is okay with trying March of Sacrifices. I assume ESO Plus is free for everyone, so... Unless it's going to be really hard. You guys think I'm gonna grief. This floating sword is crazy. There's like a sword flying around fighting people. That's wild. What is that? I know somebody said in the group that it's theirs, but is that a gear set or is that an ability? Oh, I guess don't go that way. Doing crafted writs is always good to go for gold. I haven't done writs at all. It's harder and with more mechanics, but we can walk you through it. No, okay, no. If it's something like that, I'll look up like a guide or something. I really don't want to like hold you guys back. So we don't have to do it. It wasn't really on my list today. I just thought like, you know, sounds if it was gonna be easy or fun, may as well. It's a gear set from Orsinium. Interesting. The Orsinium has an arena, right? I'm looking forward to just like messing around in an arena and just like killing a bunch of stuff. I think that'll be cool. All right, big chonker up here.
That was a nightmare.
Jerkin of the Worm cult.
And now, my dear, how do you fare?
Gusto? I'm fine, thanks to our
Was she inside of this guy? Like inside his stomach?
There's a chance, my dear. There's a chance. If our friends here are as powerful as they seem.
Your plan is to fight the architect directly? Haven't we done enough to him?
Have we done enough to him? He's tortured us every day since our imprisonment. You think his actions are just?
No, but I can understand his anger.
Wait, okay, I'm trying to understand the story here.
That monster's flesh. But I can't rest easy until I've passed from this plane. The only thing left is to
Defeat
defeat
the architect, yeah.
It pains me to take more from that man than we already have.
Oh yeah, what did you do to him?
I stole designs from him. After Saren arranged for the Wayrest nobles to deny Duthale further progress.
Okay, so they stole stuff from this guy.
Duthale was unable to secure further work, just as Saren and Gasto had intended. The man was
Okay,
already
interesting.
an eccentric, and his falling out with the Wayrest nobles led to a mental collapse. The next I saw Duthale, he was the mad architect. I was Gasto's apprentice, hoping to become a
Interesting. Okay, so these guys kind of
if I could.
stole work from this architect guy. And he went sicko mode and started killing, and then when they died, he imprisoned them and he went crazy. Better do it with a group of randoms than that will get mad. Yeah, maybe that's true. I'll ask these guys in the group when they're done if they want to try it. March of Sacrifices has some really cool visuals if you take some time to look around. That's a Hircine one, right? Hircine's like my third, maybe second favorite Daedric Prince. So I wouldn't mind doing it, but I'll ask how these guys feel when that time comes. What? Who's the boss here? Okay, so far, I won't lie, we've just seen the same models for like none of the bosses so far have had unique models. Like they're just using assets they already have. Just something I'm pointing out, you know? That all of these guys seem to basically use the same... nothing new yet. What the hell is that? Swimming it? I'm stuck. There we go. All right. Okay, this looks like a boss arena for sure. This area looks pretty cool. That looks cool. Oh, yeah. I like that. It's a real throne. How are we supposed to get down here? Oh. The puddle. It's so common in ESO XD. Yeah. I assume some DLC areas must have new models, right? I've just, like, every dungeon we've done, I haven't seen a new model. Oh, no, that's not true. Celine's Web, I think the big spider at the end was a new model. That was the Malabal Tor. No. That was a Greenshade dungeon, I think. Right? I don't know. One of them did. There was a big spider, and it was different than the Dremora spider that you're kind of used to seeing. So that was a new model. I guess technically the Banished Cells High King Regis is just an elf with armor, so technically that's a different model. I mean, you know, technically, although it's just like an elf. But Selena's Reapers. Okay, my bad. But I mean, same goes for single-player Elder Scrolls games. Oh, true. The drug. Oh, yeah. Skyrim's got the same models for basically most of the Draugr. Falmer, yep, that's true. I'm trying to think of anything else. Like wolves, overworld stuff, obviously, like skeevers and stuff. That's gonna look the same. This is a Titan. This is in like the main campaign and the end. It's not super unique. That was kind of a cool mechanic. He jumped up and hit some people back, I'll admit that. Jack of Oblivion. Getting lots of stuff here. I wonder if... We'll see at the end. Maybe I'll get some stuff that's better than what I'm wearing, and maybe I'll want to swap my sets. Alright, what are these guys going to say?
About heights. That's a long drop.
Ready for a long fall? Oh my god, you're supposed to jump down here? Chest. The chest. Well, those guys are... That one guy who jumps a goner. Rest in pepperonis. Anything good in here? Sometimes they don't... No. Nothing good. I don't even want any of this. I'm not even going to take it. Because I got so much bait in my inventory, I need the... Alright, here you go. Let me turn off the UI here. Sheesh! Oh my... they weren't kidding. This is a long drop. Let's go. That's cool. That is pretty interesting, honestly. That's like a lot of verticality for a dungeon. Normally they don't look like that. What the hell is going on over here? Totem poles. The emote or something? I finally caught one of your streams live. Listen, my man, I've been on a boat for the last 90 days. Oh my god. Well, best of luck, man. I hope your boat doesn't sink, but I appreciate that. That's wild. No one's ever told me they've been stuck on a boat for 90 days, but my PC always crashes whenever I'm in this dungeon as a group. Yeah, I'd imagine like that, like, you know, as a design-wise, that's a lot of rendered like assets for a dungeon. This looks awesome. Whoa. This looks really cool. Oh, is there parkour or something? Looks like people are jumping. That looks awesome. Wow. That looks great. No! Oh my god, I almost failed it. Alright, new asset? Nope, that's Prince Naaman's Daedric, that's his, Lich outfit right there. Not a new model. But this area looks phenomenal. Wow. This... Basically, don't stand in bad. If you see glass shattered, go near boss. Don't stand... Alright. Getting a third person for this. Alright, let's see. You guys start it, because I'll just follow your lead whenever you're ready. Clicking.
fools.
Something's happening. Summon some ghosts. Oh, okay. There's a Oblivion glyph on the ground there. Some dudes coming out of the ground. Yeah, this isn't too bad. I was worried it would be like, oh, okay. I thought that was gonna maybe knock me down or something. Nope. All right, do I go near or far? Huh. I mean, that's really cool, but that's really cool. I mean, it didn't really do anything, but you know.
He's gone. He's gone.
Ice staff. Woohoo!
But nothing's happening. Seems the mad
Spell damage, maximum health. I mean, that's pretty cool. Major brutality and sorcery at all times, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20%.
Mastered the Daedra somehow.
That sounds really good. Doesn't
What
it?
do we do? Where do we go?
We can't stay here. Not like this.
I'll figure something out. I always do.
Koopa song? Yeah, sure. I'll re-add you if you want. You talk to this guy.
Free. Had I tears to shed, I would weep. I hoped your defeat of the Mad Architect would allow us to pass from this
I guess this is already collected. I guess my dad must have done this one already.
case. We'll have to determine a new course of action, but we'll not trouble you with that.
Cool. That's a pretty cool story. Like, this guy just literally went insane because these guys stole his... Actually, I don't know if that's the Prince Naaman... I don't know. It's the lighting might be a little different, but he's like... Oops, how do I crouch? Isn't it alt? Yeah. He's like a little redder. Like, the clothing's different. Obviously, it's the same model. The clothing, I think, is a little different. Cool. If you guys have any gear that you already have, I'd be happy to accept a trade, but you don't have to do any of that stuff. Okay, that mace is new. I don't have that. Cool. Thank you very much. Let me get us out of here. Oh, God, how do I do this? Group. No, leave instance. There we go. Hey, I don't plan on staying long. I just want to let you know that I've been really enjoying your series. Keep it up. Thank you, Cam. Thank you very much. Theorin says it's just a generic lich model, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I thought the clothing looked a little different. But yeah. So Kubasong, yep, I was just about to say, oops, how do I invite to group? Group, invite player at Kubasong 1. Nope. Okay. Cool. All right. So let me take a look at this gear before we hop in here. Because some of this might be better. I know it's heavy, but like, I kind of like it. It's weapon and spell damage, health, which whatever. Major brutality and sorcery, 20 damage increase. Like, that seems good. Let me just do rattle cage. So do I have enough pieces? Okay, I can do that. Do that. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. There you go. We've got rattle cage, 5 pieces. Cool. How did you get into YouTube? I used to have a Minecraft channel with like 30,000 subscribers, but I got burnt out on Minecraft really quickly, so I stopped playing Minecraft, and now I'm here. That is the short and sweet of it. Ring of the Ancient One. Magicka recover. Okay, I don't really need that. Mace of Oblivion. Critical damage, weapon and spell damage, stamina recovery. When you kill an enemy, you fill an empty soul gem. That seems really cool too. I like that. But I don't know if I have Oblivion. I got 3 belts of Oblivion. But I definitely don't have enough to do... I mean, I could do some of it. I could do... Can't do that. Can't do... No, I can't, because I'm using all the other pieces. All right. Keep doing what you do, my man. Yes. Wait, what? I can't see because there's a heart in the way whenever somebody... You make ESO sexy again to me and my friends. Okay, thank you, Victor. Appreciate that. Okay, so what was the one we were going to do? March of Sacrifices? Or what was it called? No. Yeah, it was March of Sacrifices, right? Everyone in the group okay to do that? March of Sacrifices? And do not, you know, if I'm... Just feel free to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, because I'm sure that will be... March of Sacrifices. Cool. Have you tried DLC dungeons? I'm just about to. Just perfect timing for you to say that. March of Sacrifices, DLC dungeon. We're trying it out. This is the first DLC dungeon I've ever done. So I expect it to be difficult. Chillix, any advice for someone who wants to start YouTube? You got to do something different, I think. You have to try and do something... Wow, this area looks awesome, by the way. Let me just... Oh my... Is that her scene? Sometimes he's got like a skull. Can I go this way? Or are we going to run into... That's crazy. Okay, I'm sure we will get there at some point, right? But like... He's like standing right here. That is insane. This is like one of the coolest things I've seen in the Elder Scrolls Online. All right, I'm going to follow you guys. Hopefully I get a better view of this guy. Wow, 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 wow. Oh! Let me get a screenshot of this.
My boon shall be given.
Oh my god, he's talking to me.
Be the heart of Tarsier. But know this. Only the strong survive my march of sacrifices.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're walking flank steak. We get it.
You would do well not to mock the huntsman in his own realm, Leaf Eater.
That's so. Well, I'd worry more about yourself and less about your precious prince, runt.
Okay, I think that's the end of the dialogue here. Did I actually 100% Coldharbour? Almost. If anyone wants to join after Coldharbour, there's a couple... The world bosses I'm finding are pretty tricky. Some of them I think are just not made for one person to do. Like, they're actually made to be done as a group. Couple more POIs and then we'll be done. Very close, though. All dialogue is mixed in with the action. Oh, let me talk to this guy.
Well, isn't this just lovely? Yet another team to compete against.
Okay, so this is like the Hunger Games?
I'll never get Tarsier's heart at this rate. I can't believe I came all the way to Hircine's cursed hunting. The prize of the Great Hunt, of course. Whoever slays the Indrik and presents its heart to Hircine shall earn a boon from the Daedric Prince. A boon that I very much desperately need if I ever wish to rescue my father from this wretch. Well, yes, he is. My father transformed into a werewolf before he died. As such, his spirit was forced to remain within the hunting grounds. The only way I can free my father's soul is if you are to join me on this hunt, then I may just have a chance. We'll need to take that portal down to the hunting grounds proper. You currently stand within the realm of Hircine, the Daedric Prince of the Hunt. Hircine's Plane of Oblivion takes the form of an endless forest where great hunts are constantly...
Yeah, I already know that bit about the lore about why the werewolves come here. But that's cool. I'm looking forward to this dungeon, even if it's hard. Anyway, sorry, if I was ignoring the chat there for a second, apologies. Let me make sure I have the right quest. Greenshade? Yeah, cool. Why does it say we go in here, or what?
Hircine must have placed the teams in different parts of the forest.
Oh! Well, he's looking at me.
Hopefully, Tarsier isn't...
So we're here to rescue this woman's father, who's trapped here because he turned into a... This looks like one of the best areas I've ever seen in this game so far. If this is what DLC looks like, oh my... Wow, these guys are obviously way harder too. I can feel it a little tougher to kill them. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, I'm really looking forward to this, even if it is tricky. Look at this area. You got the flowers. You got the freaking Daedric Prince of the Hunt looking at me while I'm doing his dungeon. Arcanist is fun and at the moment really good. Yes, I agree. I was thinking about switching to another class if there was a class change token, but I guess this game doesn't have class change tokens. But I wouldn't mind trying a new class if Arcanist is like, some people tell me is OP. You know, I don't know. I don't mind it, but if I did have an increased challenge, I would appreciate that as well. But I don't know if I want to make a new character from scratch. Oh. Dude, these guys are like beefy. Like immediately I can tell that these guys are harder to kill. These 3 bosses have different mechanics. Okay, I will pay attention to the group chat if you...
You have to save...
Poor sweet. Barely started and already...
Are you playing veteran dungeons? Not... This isn't... We're doing... This is not veteran, but I have done veteran dungeons, yes. I've done most veteran dungeons in the Aldmeri Dominion base game. So I've done Banished Cells, I've done City of Ash, I've done the one in Grahtwood, which is the one Elden Root or something, or whatever, something root.
Stay still, won't you?
I've done most of them in veteran. I didn't think they were that hard. They just took a little bit longer. Kind of like these mobs, like they're just a little bit harder to kill, but I'm not in threat of death quite yet. But I assume that will change as we do these bosses up here. Hello, what dungeon is this? March of Sacrifice? Yep. This is my first DLC dungeon I've ever done before. So, okay, first boss coming up. Is there anything I need to keep aware? Is it just like kind of a avoid the bad stuff kind of boss? Or is there like a mechanic, like an interrupt or something I need to be aware of? It's just a dude, it looks like. If they get empowered, if they stay too close, just don't be behind tank and you won't get cleaved as such. Too close to each other. Okay, sounds good. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know if this blue is a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm taking aim.
Can I interrupt this person? Oh my god, this guy just fucking chopped me down. Trying to get a collateral on the... Oh! Okay, so far so good. I understand one of them looks like they charge me. There's like 3 dudes in here. Trying to hit them all with my beam if possible.
I'm ready to fire.
Is there a main boss or are there 3 bosses here? Am I not understanding this correctly? I thought this lady here was the main guy.
No worries, sisters.
Why did they heal?
My spirit remains.
The health bar just went up. Bro, this guy's crazy. This guy keeps hitting me. I can't seem to tell. Can I? I think I interrupted him. Okay, this guy has it out for me. It's Khajiit or whatever.
I can never be truly defeated.
Oh! I don't see him hitting anybody else but me, I'm not gonna lie. This guy just keeps hitting me. It's fine. We got it.
Failed, sisters.
We did it.
And again.
Gauntlets of Ursus. Like Ursa Major.
Hanu,
That's her dad.
everyone, come here.
Is that you, Father?
You must leave. No.
I don't recognize either of these voice actors. They both seem unique.
No, I won't leave you to this fate. Not again.
Please, I can't hold it back.
Wait, where are the gauntlets I just got? Oh, it's because I typed in something. Bind. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, not too bad. I'm assuming that was the easiest boss of the three. Or like, you know, the first boss is usually the easiest in a dungeon. Chrissy's Chill Game, and hello, welcome. Old Coldharbour. Not Coldharbour at the moment, but yes, we will be doing some Coldharbour. We did start with some Coldharbour, but since ESO Plus is free, I decided maybe I'll try some DLC dungeons for zones I've already completed and done. So this is the Greenshade DLC dungeon. So this looks fantastic. Like, I'm sorry. Like, just the I know this is like the texture on that wood is really good. And maybe that's just, maybe I'm just like, this looks amazing. Like, way better than some, like, there's so many lights and textures, and like, if I turned off the reshade, it still looks pretty good. It does look a little washed out without the reshade. I don't have it on right now. You know? It looks a little washed out. Like, the green, that doesn't look really green, but with the reshade, this looks like Minecraft shaders. Like, you know what I mean? Without, with. But, you know, that's just my take. The graphics and stories get so much better once you get into a DLC. This immediately I can tell is a step up. Immediately. It's freaking awesome. I'm also not eating any buff food, so I might be griefing my team, because that's part of my rules, is not to have buff food or potions. So if I get in a pinch, I'm just dead. Blaze, why does this health bar look like that? You guys see that? It's so tiny and like little. Oh, just expanded. I don't need any of that. ESO base game has its charms, but the DLC is gold quality. It's true. Base game textures are less detailed in the new chapters and DLCs. Oops, I don't want to start this boss by accident. Okay, it's a Spriggan. Not so much a new texture, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be a new model. Any mechanics for this one? I need to keep my eye out for. Let me know if this just is a regular. Oh, what did you say? It's like weird. I can't see the whole thing. Basically, the small fry should be killed before focusing on the main boss. I don't remember the mechanics on this one too clearly. If you want to explain, don't remember either. Let's go. All right, let's do it. Kill the ads first. I get you. That healing combustion, that little orb, is really good. Like, it heals so much stamina and health. I'm trying to get a collateral on this dude. By the way, I'm trying to kill the. This green circle below my feet right now must be one of my allies' things, because I don't really like recognize it. Thought it was part of this dungeon. Use Spriggan's protection. Hopefully that wasn't a mechanic I just griefed on, but. When in doubt, just burst it down. Yep. It's me, the green circle. Okay, so I will consider that friendly, and I'll. What the hell was that?
I'm over here. I found.
That actually scared me. I didn't know what happened. I thought we just got bombed.
If I cannot dissuade you, Hanu, perhaps I can be of help. This will help you track your quarry.
Was this a little ball? Little glowing orb? Oh! Why you moan like that? What the hell was that? Just a little light, guys. No need to get crazy with it. With the... Okay, this looks awesome too.
In this eternal hunt, let us leave, please.
Wisp mother. There's a wisp boss in Coldharbour that just annihilates me. I can't even get close. I can't even survive like 10 seconds with it. Yeah, a little sus, exactly. I don't know what she was. She's just a little ball of light, man. Now we need to follow the wisp light thing. Uh-oh. Oh. Guide us to the beast. Oop! I dodged that. I definitely dodged that. Stop worrying about griefing. Oh no, I'm pre-made with these guys. Moraf. They're letting me know what to do. I asked specifically, but of course I'd like to be polite and not grief if I don't have to. But no, these guys are in the stream right now, I believe, all of them. So all good. But thank you for the So this heals like every stat. That ball.
It's time to take aim, hunters.
Uh-oh. I like that attack. It's a big AoE, and it actually does something when you get hit by it. Like, it knocks you down for a bit. Doesn't do that much damage, but it's something to interact with. Oh, well, then don't fuck up. Yeah, exactly. Trying my best here. But I can't get over this area. Do zones, like, look like this? Like, this looks phenomenal, this dungeon. Do zones actually look like this, or is it, like, specifically really good looking because it's a dungeon? You know what I mean? Because this is... We got the fog coming in, we got the waterfall, we got these lights, the things glowing up. Oh, what the hell was that? I missed something. Alright, any mechanics for this guy? Same thing. Burn him down, kill the ads. Don't do anything stupid, right? Is this normal or vet? This is just normal, but it's the first DLC dungeon I've ever done. Oops, I gotta read this. Okay. I believe for this one, you will sometimes get a fire AoE chasing you. Let it hit you sooner rather than later. Or blocking to avoid damage and away from the group. But basically... Okay, so if he shoots a fire AoE, I should suck it up as soon as I can. And not bring it close to people. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Alright, you guys can start whenever you're ready. DLC zones are beautiful, but this place is also unique. Yeah, like this looks freaking amazing.
Power coursing through me. I feel it calling for your deaths. Scorching heat, smoldering flesh.
I cannot rest. I must defeat you.
Okay, I think I've dodged everything so far. He's running at me. Woo! Fine, I'm good. This one we have to kill quicker, or the whole next stage. Okay, so we gotta burn this motherfucker down.
It demands your death. I must obey. It demands your death.
Okay, I'm actually quick with it on the feet. Dodging everything.
I must defeat you.
Going crazy. I love that healing combustion thing that somebody put down. I don't know where he is. It's over there.
Why did you keep chasing it?
Oh my god, what is happening?
Why did you
Oh.
keep chasing it?
Why does some guy keep telling me, asking me why I keep chasing it? What is he talking about? What is he yapping about? We're good. We're good. We're going. Crazy. I'm out of stamina. Need a heavy attack. We're going. No, I'm stuck in the fire. Oh, we did it. Nice work, guys. Let's go. That was tough. I mean, I don't think I was close to death, but like the amount of things on the ground definitely.
I'm up with you, just so you can shove a dagger in my back.
Ha! Don't you know? It's hunt or be hunted within the March of Sacrifices.
Oh, there's people up there.
And I've already picked up your scent, lass.
So there's other people trying to get this Hersine's like favor in here. So we're like one of the teams in the Hunger Games, you know? Look at this area, man. Oh my god. This reminds me of the... I don't really know what it reminds me of the underground plantation in underground vegetation, sorry, in Skyrim. It looks awesome. I love it. If you talk to NPCs at the start of the dungeon, you'll find out what that Nord boss and his companions are all werebears. Yeah, I tried to... They were talking at the start. They were just talking in the open, but I was trying to listen to it. But I was distracted by Hersine looking at me. Wait, we have a werewolf as well. I was trying to shoot this werewolf guy, but I think that's someone on our team. I switched for flavor, lol. Very nice. March of Sacrifice is part of today's Undaunted pledges? I have no idea. I don't know. This is the first like DLC dungeon I've ever done in my life. I have no idea if it's part of an Undaunted pledge. I'm just doing it for fun with some people from the chat because ESO Plus is free. The plantation, yeah. Yeah, I was looking for vegetation, you know? I didn't mean to say plantation, but be kind of interesting if there's an underground plantation. I don't know how that would work, but mushrooms maybe. The hell was that? I've never seen this mob before. A sea adder. Sea adder. That's cool. Ba 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 ba. Certainly vegetation on the plantation. Exactly.
Watching us.
All right. Here we are. Is this the last boss or like...
We need to stay hidden until we can draw the beast out.
Am I supposed to crouch here? I can't move in actually. I'm like stuck in like a vine or something. Oh. 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 There's a dog? What is that? Oh, I thought that was the boss. Hide. Okay. Trying. I got heavy armor, so I'm not doing too great at sneaking around here. Ah! Is this a big guy? I've seen that animation of the deer running around, maybe in a Somerset trailer I made in my last video. Ah! What the hell? What's going on here?
We must use stealth while our wisp searches for the Indrik.
I didn't stealth fast enough. My bad, guys. My bad. Now avoid the ghost. Oh, okay. I gotta avoid these guys. Side comment, if ESO Plus is free today, does that mean I can move my mats to the craft bag? Yep, I believe so. I definitely did. When I logged in, it moved everything. Yeah, out of my bank, too. Oh, that guy almost hit me. No, no, no! I got detected. Oh, wait, he's here. Never mind. Oh, my God. That fucking dude just ran me over. This guy's just running around. Putting a trail of fire down. He left again. Wait, what is this, like Tron? I can't go into these lines? Uh-oh. Crouch, gotta crouch.
Stay hidden until our wisp can pull the Indrik out of hiding.
Okay. This reminds me of like an old oh, there's dudes running now too. Ah! Got hit by that guy. It reminds me of like an old like game on like Y8 where you like had to dodge. Actually, there's a game in Pummel Party. I don't know if anyone's ever played Pummel Party. It's similar to this. Where you gotta like dodge a bunch of stuff coming at you like lasers. Just a random dog in here. How did I get the oh, I said that same thing last time. It's weird. So I tab target on him to get like my dots and stuff, make sure they don't miss. But every time he does that little jump, I lose him.
Crouch within the fog until the Indrik is discovered.
Okay. I don't know why people are so focused on repeat assets and animation. Skyrim has... Yeah, that's true. We were talking about that. Skyrim has basically... It just reuses Draugr and... oops. And... a bunch of stuff. It's just a Bethesda moment, is all I'm saying.
Stay low and you'll keep out of the... Oh, there it is! Quickly, attack!
Oh. We did it. We have the heart.
Tarsia's heart is ours. With this,
woohoo!
Freedom is assured. Come on, we still have to deliver the heart to Hircine.
If you say so. What are these orbs? 3 orbs flying around. Looks cool. Oh yeah, look at this area.
Did you really think victory would be so easy?
Uh-oh. Gonna get ambushed by the other team.
How dare you strike against the Moon Hunter pack?
Here it's hunt or be hunted.
Keep in mind, this is normal mode. Veteran adds more mechanics and bosses are real DPS checks. Yeah, I've done veteran some veterans before. I assume veteran DLC dungeons must be like insanely challenging. But veteran dungeons like banished cells and stuff were basically, I think, just extra bosses. I can't really remember there ever being a mechanic that like the group didn't understand and we weren't able to do it.
I brought you the heart.
Yes, but you were not the one to hunt my hair.
These dung heaps took down the
Why
Indrik.
should I grant you this favor?
You want to hunt? Fine. I'll hunt down the ones who killed that beast in the...
Wait, so this orc guy stole...
Very well. Bring me their hearts, and the boon is yours.
The orc guy stole the heart from us, tried to hand it in. Hircine was like, nah, you didn't get it. Fair and square. And the guy's like, okay, he's going to hunt us. And if he kills us... So I guess that guy's the final boss then.
Remember Baylor's orders.
Pickpocket 100, honestly. I didn't even see him steal it. It was just kind of floating in the air. Interesting. I wager that some normal DLC dungeons are more difficult than veteran base game ones, for sure. No, this dungeon is harder than any veteran dungeon I've done so far, and I've done like 3. Now, I think in this dungeon, now all the veteran dungeons I've done were off stream in a pub, in like just a random group, right? This I'm actually playing with people in like my chat and stuff.
Saves me the trouble of hunting you down.
Oh, that's a big guy. This looks crazy, by the way. I want to get a screenshot of this. Look at that. Cool. All right, what's the thing here? Obviously avoid whatever has a hazard. He will occasionally either electrify the water or poison the land. Okay, so you got to pick between the two. At a certain HP threshold, he will disappear and wolves will come after. Room will go dark. Okay. We need to lead the guy to the glowing circle somewhere in the room. Okay. Like there's a mob or something? Just need to look around. All right, sounds good. You'll target someone, that person will have a target above their head. Okay, and then they got to go to the circle if they have the target above their head. Yes, all right, sounds good.
Percy's boon shall be mine. Feel venom sting.
This guy is getting melted. Okay, so he's poisoning the land right now. So we got to be in the water. And everything's dark.
I'm setting a trap for your enemy. Feel my claws.
Okay. I think he's attacking me, and I gotta bring him in here, right? Okay, easy enough to understand. Nothing crazy. Okay, he's gonna do it again. Somebody else this time, I think. Or there's just wolf. Somebody else has to go. Okay. Okay. So why? What's the lore reason why this guy's like giga juiced? Is it because he like ate the heart or something? Why is he so strong? Like lightning and poison and all this crap. All right, somebody else got the dot. Can I heavy attack him for stamina while he's like that? Okay, cool. All right, I got it. Where's the circle? Right here.
I'll tell you, your feeble tricks won't stop me.
Woohoo! Activity complete. I guess that was the last one. Trophy. What the hell is that? Okay.
My boon is yours.
Freedom for myself and my father. Release us, so we may join our ancestors in death.
I hear 2 requests, child, not one. You must choose. A heart for a heart.
Can you guys still see the stream, by the way? It says on my stream that it just stopped, like it lagged.
Use Hersine's boon for your own freedom, Hanu. You don't deserve this fate.
Father, I don't know if I can do that.
What's the choice here? The girl, they both died, and one of them's allowed to leave, and you got to pick.
Go ahead, say it.
Minor hiccup, but we good. Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
Father tried to warn me, and I just didn't listen. And now here I am, trapped within this cursed realm. You heard the fetching stag.
What the hell is this?
It's me or
container?
Him. Still, None of this is your fault. I may not be able to grant you a boon. I know what I must do. My father was bitten protecting me. He sacrificed an eternity of peace also I could live. And now, oh, I cannot deny my fear. This place is nothing but a den of savagery.
Interesting.
And to never be able to join my ancestors. To never go
So I gotta,
back.
do I get to pick?
No.
Oh, I guess so. I got an impactful choice here.
But what about what I want? For years, this is all I've ever wished for. To finally save my father. To finally repay his selfless actions.
Oh, it's a tough choice, honestly. I would say... I don't know. I think she's got to save herself here. You know, her father was a werewolf by choice, I guess. She wasn't. She didn't want, like, she wasn't. From what I understand, she kind of just came in here to save her dad, but her dad kind of picked that choice for himself already. You know? I think you can talk to the dad too. Oh, talk to him.
By defeating
Oh, he just says this.
You've given my daughter a chance at freedom. Hanu can now join our ancestors.
Yeah, I think I'm picking her. Oh, I gotta do this all again.
It isn't. You're right. I shouldn't go against my father's wishes.
Oh.
Hircine, hear my choice. I choose to save myself. And father, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't save you too.
Be at peace, Hanu. I will always be proud of you.
Cool.
Always.
That was a really good, like, story, you know? Like, that was much... I could tell the quality of that dungeon. Oh, thank you. Whoa, I don't have any of these. Thank you very much for the trade. Yeah, I could tell the quality of this dungeon. Like, this... You know, I don't know if I'd pay outright for it, like, whatever it costs, like... You know, probably like $10 or whatever, but yeah, like this... It looks too good and to do once, you know? It's, which I don't get that impression from the other dungeons. The other dungeons, I'm like, I don't really care. It's like the same voice actors that I've heard a billion times. Holy smokes, thank you so much. You guys don't, if you guys already, if you need the gear, don't give it to me. Like, I'm happy to add it to my sticker book, but you guys don't have to do that. Is it okay if I leave the instance now? Everyone okay with, I gotta dismantle all this crap. Or try and put it on. What do we got? Melee damage. Okay, I don't really do melee, but cool. Thank you. Let me end the instance here, unless there's something else we had to do. Talk to Reyna. Did I not finish this quest? No, I did. I finished it, right? Alright, let's leave the instance here. Cool. It's better to get ESO Plus and do them all and zones. Yeah, I already own... Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna do some world bosses in Coldharbour if you guys want to stay in the group, but if you've got other stuff to do, totally cool. You guys can do your own thing. You're welcome to do that. Take a look over the cliff. Yeah, I probably should have done that. Let me look at some of this gear I got. So much stuff here, honestly. So, when you take damage, you're under 50% health. This is like a healer one, kind of, maybe. Or like tank? Yeah, tank, maybe. Blood Moon, melee light attack, which I don't really use melee weapons. When you deal damage, okay, yeah. And this one is when you resurrect an ally while in combat, you both gain minor heroism. Yeah, it's alright. Alright, first world boss I already did some on my own. The first one I'm gonna do is this guy up here. This one up in the top left. Cool, thank you guys. If you have stuff to do, you're welcome. I think, yeah. I appreciate the help. This is like Coldharbour. I try to do as many world bosses as I can on my own, but these guys, obviously this is like originally this was made for like the end game zone, so I get that these bosses are way harder. This world boss, I can't even get like 3 hits in. I just die. Wait, it looks like there is a random person about to do this world boss, maybe. Hey there, I was watching you on my phone for a bit and noticed you missed a massive plot point because the group ran past it after Tarsier. I don't know if you realized it after. I have no idea. I don't know. The story was really good as it was. If we missed something I didn't notice. Pop, pop. Are we all here? All right. Let me start it. I guess I'm gonna get fucking cranked in the head, I think. Look at how hard this, like, how was I supposed to do this on my own? There's 5 people here, including one random person. And we're still, well, not struggling, but this is like harder than any dungeon boss. We burned through the Vault of Madness dungeon bosses faster than this guy. Woohoo! Prisoner's bow. That's cool. Maybe I will use that bow. We did it. What next? I did this one solo. I did another one solo. Let me open up a world map here, just so I can see where all the bosses are. So there's one up here, just down the road. Let's do that one. We can just walk there. It's up by this place here, this POI, or the way shrine, I guess. Well, may as well use the way shrine. I got gold. Hanu gets killed by Balgora, and then he steals the heart. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I was wondering how he got the heart. I didn't understand that. So was there a mini world boss, or like just a little story thingy, Mababi? Or, you know? You can also do Moonhunter Keep. It came bundled with the same DLC. Moonhunter Keep. Sure. Yeah, I think about it. I don't know how pressed I am for time here. I don't know how long I've been streaming, to be honest. Would someone mind telling me how long I've been streaming for? If you just hover on the bar down below. I have no idea. I can't really tell. We all here? He's getting here. All right.
You look like a sturdy one. Should I treat you?
Just over 2 hours. All right. Yeah, we'll see. It's a big ask for me to ask people to do, especially DLC dungeons, because I got to learn like all the mechanics and stuff. But I have some time today. If anyone in the group right now wants to do after the world bosses, what was it called? March of something. Wait, was it? No. Moonhunter Keep. As long as Moonhunter Keep doesn't relate to a DLC zone, like it doesn't spoil anything, that would be cool. That would just be one more, and then after... Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, I'm seeing the group saying they'd be down to do that. Sounds good. One more guy up here. Why are we red? Hey, so I have a question. So that's an Ayleid well, right? Now, in the lore, an Ayleid well was generally used to... they're used in replacement of soul gems, right? They were used to like power weapons, I guess, and stuff. So, but it doesn't do that. I've consumed Ayleid wells before, and they did not... I don't know what they do. What do they do in this game? Do they give you ultimate or something? Because like in the lore, in the books, they're supposed to be a supplement for soul gems, and they're like kind of like a fuel. But, yeah, I don't know. I tried to do this boss, too. I almost soloed this boss. Ayleid wells give you an increased maxed health. Oh, interesting. That's a little different than what I would expect from the lore, but that's cool. I prefer to play with learning players. I'm rushing to get house chores done so I can join. Oh, it's all good. 10 minutes max health. Okay. It's a little... not as interesting as I'd thunk, but it's alright. There's a couple more POIs I want to do. The POIs in this zone are... Vile Laboratory is really cool. It kind of shows a side of Malabal Ball down here. This POI shows a side of Malabal Ball where he's not just like purely cruel. He kind of... he wants to like experiment, and he like merges two souls in one body and stuff, and that was interesting because you kind of just think Malabal Ball is just like a cookie cutter bad guy, right? He's just not... doesn't have much depth to him, but kind of showed another side. Also interesting that him and Meridia were basically married. They're like a bickering old like, you know, retired couple, kind of like my grandpa and grandma. Sorry, my grandpa and grandpa just do not like each other. And yeah. Okay, so there's one right here which I haven't done. I can probably just run there, to be honest, but I can take the Way Shrine as well. But I think they have... I know Malabal Ball has a son and a daughter. You fight his daughter in this zone. But I believe him and Meridia have had offspring of some kind. And it kind of makes sense why she's like... she's kind of like a... I wouldn't say... like, they don't like each other. They're, like, still technically, like, my grandpa and grandma, where they're married, but they don't like each other. They don't want to go through the divorce process, but, you know. Oh, there's somebody doing this one already. Ah. I hit it. I think I should get credit. I did. I got credit, but I didn't get any loot. That's alright. Well, this one over here. Transport... Daedroth Larder, kind of. Oblivion gives you stat boost as well. I remember Oblivion recharging your weapons. Oh, interesting. They must have. I thought in the at least in the lore and like the books and stuff that Ayleid Wells were supposed to be their substitute for. Soul gems, I thought. Maybe I read it. Maybe that's something else in a different book, but that's what I was under the impression. That's what they were. That's what they were. I think this is my last world boss. Yeah, this is the last one. Then we can queue up for that other dungeon. March of Sacrifices, in my opinion, is supposed to be done after MHK. I'm not quite sure what that is. So it's not really like clear anything, but it does make more, doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, if it's like vaguely, like people were telling me like I should do the Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild before Coldharbour, which I did do, but they didn't really add too much. Like they added some stuff, but like it wasn't crazy. All right, let me TP back to a city here, and then you guys can let me know if we're up for that other dungeon. Moonhunter Keep. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in elsewhere, maybe. Let's see. It would be... Sorry, not elsewhere. Reaper's March? This one? That's a raid, I think. Moonhunter Keep. Yeah. Thanks for the group. I'll have to be going now. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Milk Toast. Thanks. Milk Toast. Do we have... who's Milk Toast? Does anyone in the chat would like to play? We need one more for the Hollow... sorry, not the Hollow City. The March of whatever it's called. This one. Moonhunter Keep. If you are interested, we don't have a healer. I guess that our healer left, but If someone is here on PCNA and would like to play, let me know. This will probably be the last thing we do for the stream, I think. But I guess I could queue, like, random queue, and then somebody could... Happy, I could probably do it. Cool. Let me see if... Oh, I don't know if I have your... Just send your user ID again when you're... Oh, never mind, I ain't healing. I mean, we could try and do it without a healer, I suppose, but I don't know how hard this one is. Moonhunter Keep. We can also just queue and just get a random person as well. I can swap to heals if someone wants a tank instead. Depends. I pretty much only have this. Let me just invite... Happy here. Invite... We can figure it out. I think, honestly... like, I have healing on my own character and stuff. I only have 2 max level tunes, both DPS. Yeah, all good. The Dock Scratch, where are we? We're in Coldharbour, but we're almost done Coldharbour. I got a couple things to do off video, some delves, and 2 more POIs left. I have a tank set up for it, sure. Okay, sure. If you guys want to swap around, that's all good. We can do that. But we are in Coldharbour finishing that off, and then we're doing some DLC dungeons. I've never done those before. And then, yeah, this is the first time I've done deals. I like them so far. They definitely seem pretty good. I got some cool gear out of it. I'm only wearing, whatchamacallit. I'm wearing the gear from the Vaults of Madness, which is in a DLC dungeon, this one here. But these ones are actually really good. I like this. Major brutality and sorcery at all times. Pretty good. Have you found the menu that shows the order in which content have come out? No, I was hoping somebody made an add-on that does that. I was kind of hoping someone else knew of an add-on that showed the right way to do everything. Is this not the crafting area? Where's the crafting in the city?
What is it?
Where's the crafting? Here, maybe? What dungeon are we doing anyway? We're doing a DLC dungeon. Moonhunter Keep is what we're doing. Koopa Song, I'm not sure if you're here still. I'll try and invite you. Koopa Song 1. Great. Not sure if you're on your other character now or not. You have to limit yourself so much for it to feel like a challenge. Yep, pretty much. Some of the Boral bosses I've actually really struggled with in this zone. We just kind of ran through them right now. But, like, these ones were actually, like, made for, like, group content. But, like, you know... Reaper's March, I think I did 3 out of 6 of them on my own. Auridon, I did all 6 on my own as, like, level 9. Grahtwood, I think I did like half of them. Greenshade, probably half of them. Coldharbour is the first one I was only able to do 1 on my own. So, Koopa Song. Yeah, I'll invite you. I thought I just did, but I'll do it again. All right, sounds good. Let's queue up then. Okay, it's called Moonhunter Keep. All right. Good luck. Everyone talks about Razumdar. You're gonna love Abner Tharn. I mean, I've already done the main. I've done all the story, so Abner Tharn's pretty cool. Voiced by Dr. Octopus, amazing voice actor. You know, I love Doc Ock. From the OG Spider-Man, you know, I guess technically he's in the new Spider-Man as well. He's not really... Wait. How do we open this? I can't open
Make
it.
sure this one doesn't go running off, you hear? I'm not done with him yet.
I think I've seen my dad do this dungeon before. I think. I vaguely remember these cages. Not sure. How do we get in here? Alright, here we go. There we go. I got it. Alright, let me talk to this guy.
These curs think they can break me. Strange. You certainly don't look like a prisoner. Yet here you are, joining me within the cells of Moonhunter Keep. I tell you to turn back, but I doubt my werewolf captors would let you just leave. Can you now? I thought I could take care of myself too. But even alongside the finest soldiers of the Silver Dawn, I couldn't take back this keep. Dead or imprisoned, depending on Vykosa's will. Oh, what I wouldn't give for a chance to strike back.
Okay, so these guys are werewolf hunters.
Well. Our first priority is to those trapped within this prison. Distract the guards while I free them.
Alright, sounds good. Werewolf hunters, killing some werewolves. I don't know if we still have the werewolf guy in our party, but, you know, sorry, you're gonna see some, not so great, whatever it's called. Not cannibalism, but the other version for animals that kill their own thing. The add-on you might want is called the Questing Guide. Lists everything you need to do in order. It also separates dungeons, etc. from... Yeah, I was looking for something that, while I'm going through the overworld, it would say, like, do this point of interest mission before you do, you know, the main story quest. Is this guy just like a burn and turn and burn kind of guy, or any mechanics you gotta worry about? Interrupts? I'm ready whenever. You guys go ahead. Burn, basically. Alright, sounds good. This guy's voiced by Travis Will. Yeah, that's the Critical Role guy, right? He does a lot of voices in ESO as well.
Release the prisoners. I'm sure they're hungry.
Honest question, you mentioned how story is your main thing, but I noticed you skip almost all the optional dialogue that gives more lore and story content when you talk to NPCs. Just for dungeons, just when I'm on stream, just because I'm with other people, that's a little disrespectful. I don't mind listening to story, you know, an okay amount, but when I'm with a group that's gonna basically taking time out of their day to kind of teach me how to play, I'm not going to sit there and talk to every single point of dialogue. But when I do play on my own, I absolutely do. For that reason, I have... Let's see, how much footage do I have right now? I have... I have 147 gigabytes of footage. Most of that story content for Coldharbour. Because I listen to every line of dialogue and I talk to basically every NPC about everything. And although it's not applicable for my videos, it helps me for my notes to go back. But just for multiplayer stuff. I don't do that Thorin. Just out of politeness.
Am I worthy yet? I don't want to go back to the hedge maze.
The hedge maze? Yeah, I think I do remember my dad doing this dungeon. My dad used to be a tank player. And I remember him, it's outside. Okay, obviously the hedge maze is outside, but there's like a beast or something that follows you around in it. Something like that, maybe? When do you expect to post a Coldharbour review? I have a couple more things to do. Just a couple more POIs. I probably will be finishing that tomorrow. I would be surprised if I don't get it out by this weekend. Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One of those days I usually upload.
Oh, I can't.
So, that would be my guess. Is sometime this weekend. I'm very, very close, and editing takes, you know, 20, 30 hours, but I don't have school or a job at the moment, so I'm able to edit quite, you know, devote whole days to doing it. So it's not as daunting as it was before. Yeah, it lists chapters and which order to do them, but it helped me a lot when I first started playing. I think most of the quests and point of interest you can do in any order. Yeah, some of them are better not to do in any order. You know, some of them, like for Malabal Tor, you generally want to do those before you finish the main story because it just feels really, really flat if you don't. But, yeah. Okay, yeah, I definitely remember this. Yeah, I remember that area over there. All right, I'm going to follow you guys because I'm going to get lost in the maze. Is this a boss or just a dude? I like the texture. These are definitely different assets. We were talking about it earlier. These are all different. That green innard, at least for me, maybe they exist in a DLC zone already, but they definitely look different to me. Yeah, I've started doing the points of interest, basically, almost to completion. Like I basically do all of them before I do the main story. The worst case scenario is it introduces something like an enemy, like for example, Reaper's March introduced the Colovians, and the story hadn't really described what those were, but it really wasn't that bad. I would recommend honestly doing POIs first, then the main story, which is kind of what I've started to do now. And you also notice repeat characters as well. So you start to notice characters from points of interest that you've already engaged with, and they show up in the main story. Whereas if you don't do those first, they just kind of are just like, doesn't really matter, you know? My tactic with the POI is to do all of them on the way to the next main mission. Yeah, I can see that too. Sometimes you miss some important ones, and like, for example, a map like Grahtwood. Grahtwood's circular, and its mission direction, and it's like the way it guides you through the map isn't quite... It doesn't work with that. I know what you're saying, though, but sometimes that doesn't work to do it as you go. Grahtwood definitely had some... one of my complaints with it was... didn't really feel designed super fantastic. There are Spriggans in the maze healing. Okay. Gotta kill these guys then. Something's on the ground here. A flower or something. Am I supposed to pick that up? Oh, here we go. Flower. I can't pick it up because these guys just fucking spawned. Ugh. There we go. Got the flower. At the end of the DLC zones, there's always a party which you can catch up with POI characters after the quest. That's cool. Spriggans will also heal at this boss. Okay, so Spriggans get the healing out of the way, or kill the healers first. Sounds good. The end zone party. I mean, there was kind of an endgame party in Reaper's March. Not really. It was just like a celebration, really. Nothing crazy.
escape those the Guardian will use those brigands to heal. Kill them first. Those thorns will pierce right through you.
Oh my god. These guys do a lot of healing. Did we kill them all? Yeah. Perfect. This boss is, I wouldn't say as hard as what I expect. Like not like the other one we did. Fang, whatever it's called. I don't know all the names. Too many dungeons for me. But where are these guys? These guys are actually like in the background here. It does feel mazy, which I like.
Don't become trapped in those roots.
Getting sucked.
Watch out for those thorns.
Also, some great cope I've made for this game is that the Vestige is always a lot more powerful than anyone thinks they are. They're literally unimmortal, and people always seem to underestimate them. True, that's possible. Like the Dragonborn, you know, sometimes people don't believe you're the...
We have to keep moving. The Bailey up ahead is...
You're in no state to fight, sweetmeat. Our friends
Yeah.
have to take care of Mylan.
Don't call me sweetmeat.
Sweetmeat. Fang Lair. I don't know. The Greenshade DLC dungeon. I don't know what it was called. We just did it. This area looks really cool. This is like the first time I've seen like an Imperial manor. Like that actually looks like a manor. Like this actually looks like a castle. Usually the castles in ESO that you explore are just like... Not to say that they're... you know, they're like ruins or they're not super interesting, but this looks like a real... Like this would be a castle you would see in real life almost. Okay, this is obviously a boss arena. Yeah, this looks great. I liked it. Not as impressive as the last dungeon, but I like this. I hope we get to go inside and kind of explore it a bit. Alright, what's going on here? Burn this boss, nothing too wacky in terms of mechs. Sounds good. Where is he? Is he out? What's going on? Oh, there you go. Marches of Sacrifice, yeah. That was really cool. March of Sacrifices looked awesome. That was, so far, visually, the most impressive thing I've ever seen in this game. How do you rate ESO? Well, my last video kind of was all about that. If you watch my last video, it's all about my impressions of ESO as a new player. I've played lots of MMOs. I've played World of Warcraft. I've played SWTOR. I've played Lotro. I've played Albion Online. I've played Black Desert Online. I've played Destiny 1. I've played Destiny 2. I've played Warframe, Lost Ark, New World. I've played most MMOs on the market, at least mainstream MMOs. As an MMO, I'm not sure how I would rate this. Maybe not as strong as an MMO, but like the ability to be able to play this as a single-player RPG is pretty phenomenal that other games don't really do. You know what I mean? It's a pretty unique... It's a very unique game, but in my last video I kind of called it ESO more like an online RPG because all the group content and stuff is mainly like dungeons and stuff. Like you think of WoW, like classic WoW, or even some places in retail, like you kind of need to be in a group, or being in a group is severely helpful, where in ESO that's not really the case. You don't need to be in a group at all. You can kind of do most of this game on your own. People, I don't know how, but some people solo dungeons. Like maybe DLC dungeons, I don't know, but like people will solo veteran, like, banished cells and stuff.
You think I don't know
I'm gonna listen to these guys.
Save your concern. I have a plan. I just need some belladonna berries. They should be further within the keep.
Some berries. Are we going inside? Do I get to pick a way to go in, or are we just... How do we get in here? It's not as hard as you think to solo dungeons. Yeah, I mean, I'm very far away from ever doing that, but... is this the door we go in, or... I guess so. Is this oh my god, another boss right away. Or maybe not, maybe it's just an elite. ESO is like how Jesse Cox described Final Fantasy XIV. It's not an MMORPG, it's an RPG first that just happens to be an MMO. Yeah, but I can understand why people have gripes with it, because, to my understanding, ESO was originally designed as a PvP game. Like, it was supposed to be designed kind of with the MMO mindset in hand, but it just kind of turned out to be more RPG-centric. I just got smacked. But that's, I think, where ESO gets some of its, I don't know, clunkiness from. Although I wouldn't really describe... I mean, yeah, the combat isn't, you know, whatever. But, it's because it was designed, I think, as a PvP, like an MMO first, but it did the RPG stuff way better, so they kind of just transitioned into that. Alright, there's some berries or something I'm supposed to pick here. Cool. I'm following you guys. This place is a labyrinth. ESO PvP is rough, to say the least. Would never get into it. I mean, I'm going to try it at some point, right? I mean, I gotta go to Cyrodiil. Like, I got to. It's just, like, too important of a place in, like, lore. But, in a similar vein, I'd argue that Warframe could barely be called MMO. I agree. Warframe is basically an online dungeon crawler. Like, it's literally just doing dungeons over and over. They just released... Okay, not just released. Last time I played Warframe, they didn't have their open world area. Like, there was no planet. Now there is a planet, and, like, you can, like, go ride bikes or, like, hover cars or something. I don't know. But back when I played, I agree, Warframe could barely be described as an MMO, and it probably still can't today. It's just like a dungeon crawler, really. I'm not a big PvP guy, I have to admit. It does feel cool when you see a line of trebuchets. Yeah, I think I've been watching some of the stuff for Ashes of Creation, which is like a new MMO that's like gonna come out, I guess. Who knows? Maybe it will never come out. You'll never really know. But Ashes of Creation, the guy who made it, is like, he really took a lot of inspiration from ESO, because ESO's wars like feel like wars. Like, you've got catapults, you got siege weaponry, you've got... It's not just PvP, it's very like... It's more interesting, I suppose. Hey, he's on! Your Reaper's March video was super fun to watch. I got the sense the story didn't resonate with you as much as some of the other zones. Is that true? No, not at all. We just did a tier list. If you actually go back in this live stream, I put Reaper's March in, like, A tier. It's like, it's probably... It's my second most favorite zone, and the story is probably my favorite. Because I'm just, like, the Khajiit implications and stuff are so interesting. So, exact opposite of what you described. I didn't enjoy the fact that it was kind of glitched with Coldharbour, and, like, you're supposed to go into Coldharbour, and just kind of ended up in the air. Yeah, I didn't like it that much, but the story overall was the best story. It's so, like, lore heavy, and Joan and Jode. You got the main, which is super important, like, throughout time for the Khajiit. Yeah, it was great. Oh, we actually got an item. This is the first time I think I've ever opened a chest in a dungeon and got a set item in there. That's cool. Archivist Ernade. Any mechanics for this one I should be aware of here? You have to go to Cyrodiil to 100% the game. Becoming Emperor. Well, if it's not in the zone guide, like if becoming an Emperor, Cyrodiil's zone guide already is insane. By the way. Oh, okay, we'll do it after this. But the zone guide is like you need 10 million or 100 million damage or something wild. Like I don't know if I'll ever do that. That would take weeks and weeks and weeks of playing. So we'll see. Oop, I'm in a plant.
You can feel lightning's wrath.
I assume when he puts that debuff on you, you have to run away from your teammates or it'll like do a lot of damage, I would guess.
If you will not die, move to flank.
Where they're like trying to convert people to being her scenes, like followers. And the last dungeon was people trying to escape from her scenes stuff. Book smarts? What is that? What do I get book smarts for? What is that?
A magical scroll with some miraculous cure?
Yes, that's exactly.
Defeat the Archivist without taking group member damage from symbols of Xerxes in Moonhunter Keep. Alright, it's cool. We go this way? Another? Oh, this is the last guy, right? Oops, was I not supposed to do this? No one else is out here. Alright, let me know if there's any interesting mechanics for this guy. Cyrodiil map completion, filling out those bars on the left when you open the map isn't too bad. Yeah, Cyrodiil's huge, though. If I was to do... Prioritize the dogs and other ads. Okay, sounds good. If I was to do Cyrodiil, I think I'd have to do it like... I don't think I'd ever stream it, because I'm sure I would get dookied on. Alright. No unique besides on normal. You kill the red and hold the gray, right? I don't know what that means. And you can just kill the dogs here. It's normal, so it's fine to just stack. Alright, sounds good. Let's do it. Wait, they're on chains? That's kind of interesting. Trying to kill the dogs here. Okay, well, these chains aren't that great if they're just able to move anywhere they want, you know what I mean? Dogs will come back. Oh, okay.
My claws alone are enough to defeat you. No more is. Let us finally feast.
What is that? Why is there a skull on one of them?
Not Paula. How surprising. Let us strike against these fools.
I think my weapon's broken or something. I got that little icon on the bottom. I don't really know what that means, but it looks like a weapon is broken. I put the skull there as an indicator. Okay. Stuck. Woohoo! We did it! Trophy!
We must leave. Adonatus has finally transformed.
Wait, what is this? A mini boss? The guy who we were trying to save the whole time? Oh.
No. No, I can control it. For now, at least.
There we go. That one was a bit quicker than the other one, but it was good. It was fun.
Has fallen, and Tamriel is safe from her malicious intent. And for that, I shall forever be grateful. Given the circumstances, I don't think the Silver Dawn would fault me for offering you a reward. Yes, I was able to find something suitable within the keep stores.
Cool.
All is well then, yes?
This boss is indeed annoying on veteran hard mode. Wait, is veteran...
Narazda, I know...
Is veteran and hard mode different things?
Werewolf. I knew it the minute I transformed.
Oh, will you kill her then? Will you kill your ally just because of what she is?
No. It goes against my beliefs, but I won't kill you. I can't. But should we meet again, I make no promise to stay my sword.
Cool. You can activate hard mode for something you activate for each boss. Okay, so it just makes it harder. There's veteran plus hard mode. Interesting. Let's get us out of here, I'm sure. Awesome. Wow, I got so much gear today, guys. And the DLC dungeons were awesome. Like, obviously, doing them in a random group wouldn't have been as good because, you know, I wouldn't have been able to learn. But big shout out to everyone in here. Kubasong knew all the mechanics. Thank you very much. Thanks for... Yeah, I got a couple... So this is where I am on Coldharbour at the moment. See, this text box is like right in the way. Okay, there we go. Open zone guide. Okay, so we've done the main story. I've done all the Coldharbour stuff. We got 2 more delves to do. 2 more POIs. A couple more sky shards, but those will be in the delves as well. So, like, I could wrap this up probably in, like... POIs take about 30 minutes. Maybe like an hour and a half of stuff left to do. So I probably will be wrapping up the Coldharbour zone tomorrow, and then I will start editing. And I have so much footage to get through because I did the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild quest lines, all of them. Those were awesome, by the way, but they weren't too long. But they did have a lot to record and stuff. And they had this completely new zone. What was it called? No. This one. Mages Guild Zone. I don't know if there's anything actually... The Scholarium. What is that? Anyway, interesting area. Thank you for group. Cheers all. Yes, thank you guys very much. And I really appreciate everyone in the group who helped me through all the dungeons and stuff. I'll disband it so you guys can do your own things. Don't feel pressured to stay here, but... A Tomorrowwind. That's from New Trap Chapter. The scribing spot. Oh, interesting. So the scribing area is in an older zone. I kind of like that it's not all in a new DLC area. Although I don't have the DLC, so I doubt I don't think I could go there anyway. I don't got the $60 or whatever it is, but maybe in the future I'll be able to buy it. I think so after Coldharbour, next stop for me is Hrothgar. That's where we'll be going. Looks like there's a bunch of dungeons and stuff here. Ice Reach. Wait, Crypt of Hearts and Beldam Vale. Interesting. But Hrothgar's where we're going first after Coldharbour. And then depending on if I like, well, I'm sure I'll like Hrothgar a lot, but depending on my mood, if I want to jump into another main story, which would be the Ebonheart Pact, or I might do Vardenfell. Depends. I assume DLC zones are going to take a long time, especially Vardenfell's a chapter zone, and that's probably going to take a long time too. But I could do Craglorn or something else that's more lore-friendly that doesn't have like as many spoilers, I guess. Where is Craglorn? Here. Interesting. This will be cool to do, I think. Imperial City as well would be interesting, but PvP I'm worried about just getting absolutely destroyed. Crypt of Hearts is in Rib... Oh, okay. As a snow zone enjoyer, I loved Rothgar. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think we've had any snow in... I mean, obviously, it's the southern, like, there's no snow here. I'm trying to think of any place that had a little bit of snow, maybe. But I don't think any of these zones had any snow in them at all. Maybe. I'm trying to think of, like, mountaintops, maybe. I don't think... They had ice. There were areas that had ice. In like, Fallen Estes sites, they had, like, frozen stuff underneath a couple times. That was cool. Yeah, okay, let me take a look at all my gear here. This will be crazy to deconstruct. Okay, so here's a question. This is the axe I got from doing the main story. It doesn't say that it's, like, collected. Is there nothing... So, like, I'll bind this, because I wouldn't know why I wouldn't. But, see, nothing popped up to collect it. So is there any way I can get this back if I deconstruct it, or do I have to, like, put this in a chest? Happy is invited to trade. Thank you. Divines. Divines is supposed to be, like, what you're supposed to have on gear. Thank you. Happy, thank you very much. But I always hear people saying I should get divines on stuff. But I don't really know what that kind of stuff does quite yet. Or, like, if it's really impactful or not. Let me open up March of Sacrifices necklace. And there's another one somewhere, I thought. No, store it. Okay, so I'll put it... I think I do have a chest. I think I got a chest for, like, level 15 reward or something. Where's my... Here we go. Nope, not that. I didn't want to open that. I had to get the, I had to get the, a race change or alliance change for this character. Savage Werewolves Restoration Staff. That's interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Happy, I appreciate that. But now I have a bunch of treasure maps and stuff. Because I did the, whatchamacallit, alliance change, you get a bunch of treasure maps or whatever. I don't know. It has a unique model. Okay, so I'll store it. I think I got rid of... There was another one like that. Some kind of... Somebody's armor or something earlier in the story, and I think I deconstructed it, and I was trying to get it back, but I don't think I can. Divine is great because when mixed with Thief Mundus Stone, they give you a lot of crit. I don't know if that's what I am. Oh yeah, I am. That's what I am. Thief. Cool. Are you going to scatter some chapters in between the alliances? Maybe. I feel like chapters are going to take up a lot of time to do. Like, they would be a huge video. Like, I feel like chapters have more content than a regular base game zone, anyway. I don't know if I would scatter chapters in between, but I might scatter DLC zones in between doing a main story. Like, the Cadwell Silver took me to this area. Bleak Rock Isle. I got the Way Shrine over here for it. So... I might do DLC zones in the area, like maybe like Murkmire or something, because that's like down here, and it might fit well with like this faction. But I don't know if I would do chapters. That I think would be a bigger project. Yeah, the chapters have lots of base game cameos. Yeah, the chapters. Yeah, I think Morrowind is the only one I might do. Just, but I definitely would not, like, I'm doing them in order, right? I'm not going to do Somerset before Vardenfell. I'm not going to do, like, what's it called? Telvanni Peninsula after Westweald or whatever. Like, I know there's some loose order and the other's supposed to be done, so I'm going to try and kind of do it in chronological order. At least that's the goal, anyway. Don't miss Balfoyen after Bleak Rock. So easy to miss nowadays. Okay, I'll keep my eye out. I usually follow the quest pretty closely, so we'll see. You said lore friendly, but the vanilla game is at least lore friendly. The vanilla game is the least lore-friendly part of the game. I'm not sure. Nah, I mean like the storyline. Like, I don't want to spoil myself. Like, the path I take, I want to be consistent, you know? If that makes sense, anyway. Anyway, I've been streaming for a long time. I got a dentist appointment in 30 minutes, and I'm glad we did a lot today. We did. I'll make sure this video is public if you do want to go through it. Usually I make my live streams private because I don't like them clogging up the sub boxes and stuff. But I will make this one public so you can come back at any time and kind of browse through it, because we did a lot today. Honestly, my first time ever doing a DLC dungeon. I got a boatload of gear to look through. Now I won't equip any of this because technically I didn't get it in Coldharbour. I'll just equip the stuff I did actually get in this zone, but it'd be interesting to look through anyway. 2 DLC dungeons. We did the Vault of Madness for the Coldharbour dungeon as well. Got the lore book in there. And then we did some world bosses here. And then, yeah, the tier list as well. And I'm going to be on Nephis, his podcast in a few days. I don't know if you guys follow him or what the deal is there, but if you do watch Nephis, I will be on a podcast, I believe his dedicated podcast, and we'll be talking about some stuff as well. I won't be streaming that or whatever, but I'll make sure to link it in a community post when it's done as well. So if you do want to check that out, you can. Anyway, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. It was one of the longest things I ever did. Can you just put the VOD section of the channel? Yeah, I can, but it notifies everyone in the sub boxes, and I personally don't like that, like as aesthetic, and like when streamers kind of stream and then like all your feed is just simply live streams, so I try to avoid that as best I can. Anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I will be dropping off, but I hope to get the Coldharbour video out for you guys this weekend sometime. I've already started on the script. The story's phenomenal. This is by far, I think, the best. I know it's not technically a faction storyline, but it's probably the best zone I've done so far. Anyway, thank you guys. I will hopefully see you guys on the weekend sometime in that video. Until then, stay safe and have a good rest of your week.